I love broccolini.
Broccolini
I get excited about broccolini. Japan needs to learn. Japan needs broccolini. We got to like get more of it. It's got a phenomenal crunch and texture.
Yeah.
It holds like dressings a little well, like spices, or you put a little, I don't know, you cook it in a little bit of oil, chili flakes, little garlic, fried garlic. Oh,
I've never seen him
so
talk
good.
like this before.
Like which Japanese
I could genuinely eat an entire plate of broccolini.
Yeah, which Japanese genius looked at a plate of broccoli and went like, make it anorexic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Long anorexic.
Long and anorexic and crunchy.
It's genius.
So are we waiting for coffees to record, or are we?
Ask the coffee fiend.
Right.
Oh no, we run it. Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay?
I mean,
Can you
Can you
function?
process?
Yeah,
Can you
I
process?
don't know what episode it was that we decided we would, because we used to stop recording when one of us went to go toilet, and now we don't do that anymore.
Now we don't do that anymore. Yeah.
We just keep going.
It's-
I
How did that happen?
think it was the Sally Amar, the first Sally Amarki episode where you left like halfway through.
No, don't
no.
blame me for this. This isn't a
No,
me.
but I think
I'm
that's
going to
when
blame Connor anyway, but I don't think you're correct.
He's not
But
right.
it is Connor's fault.
Can someone in the comments? Okay, it's not my fault.
It is Connor's fault because I believe the first time it happened
Yeah.
was I think it was like a drinking episode, and I was
Okay,
asking
drinking
you-
episodes didn't count though. I feel like because we.
Oh
were drinking.
yeah. Because you were talking to me about
like
that was the episode where you just started playing chess halfway through.
yeah.
No, that was because one of you went to the toilet, and I thought, in old trash taste fashion, we used to stop the episodes when someone went to the toilet.
We used to stop talking, and
Yeah.
then I
we
think,
used to stop.
And then
I
we're
think
just like,
eventually
nah.
we were just like, wait, we don't have a co-host right now. Who gives a
Fuck
shit?
it.
Let's just roll.
Yeah.
Let's just keep
roll
rolling.
So I guess that's a thing. But it makes sense for drinking, right? Because you don't when you're hanging out with your mates and when someone goes to the toilet, you all don't stop talking.
That is true.
Even if there's like three of you.
If
You wouldn't.
anything,
Yeah, we're still being recorded. I know, but,
Yeah.
but that is trash taste. That is the conversation.
If anything, I feel it's in situations where you're all drinking with one another, where you go to the toilet, you hear like mad laughter coming from outside, and you come back and you're like, what, did I miss something, guys?
Yeah, but
and then they just don't tell you.
yeah, but to flip it, like in normal conversation, when your mate goes to the toilet, you don't stop conversation either, right?
Nah, but it's
It's like, we gotta wait for him to come back
different.
from the
It's
piss, guys.
It's different. It's
It's
different.
just like Joey's gone for a piss. All right, everyone, power down. Boop, 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 boop.
I suppose you're right.
As I should. I am the life of the party.
Yes.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm your host, Joey, and I'm with the boys, Garnt and Connor, as usual.
Yes.
We're sweating our butts off.
God, you sound so enthusiastic when you said Garnt Connor, as usual. I'm sorry, Joey.
Well, what do you want me to be like? Guys, exciting news. My co-hosts for this week are, you're never going to guess it, Garnt and Connor.
I would like a bit of enthusiasm. I don't think it's
Fuck you, you're not
unreasonable
getting
to expect. I don't think it's unreasonable.
We've done this for too long.
I think it's unreasonable to expect that.
Okay, next time you're the
Yeah.
host, I expect that from you.
I'm very enthusiastic about hosting.
All right, next time you're hosting, do that.
In 2 episodes, when I get over there,
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to be
I'm
so
waiting.
enthusiastic.
I'm waiting.
Well,
Give me a
in
week.
fantastic news, I've heard our coffee has just arrived.
Oh my God! Praise the Lord!
Right
Praise
now,
the Lord.
That's
even though I
what's
have
up.
a coffee right here.
Yeah, you're fucking double dipping.
And you might be wondering why I've ordered a coffee for myself while I'm drinking a coffee. Well, I'll tell you boys.
Uh-huh.
It's because today I felt like I should have ordered an iced coffee, which doesn't actually count as a coffee because it's a nice.
It does count as a
It's a nice little, like a nice little
That's so
sweet.
Who's
fruity
going to tell
drink.
him? Who's going to tell him?
That's so funny because I literally had a nice coffee this morning at home, and I'm like, that doesn't count as a
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
it counts.
It doesn't
I
count
know,
towards my daily.
but in my head, I'm like, yes, this is a coffee. This has caffeine in it. It is definitely a coffee. But my stomach is like, nah, you're good, dog. You can have an actual
does
proper
energy
hot
drink
coffee.
like okay? You track how many coffees you have per day, right?
Energy drink absolutely counts towards the coffee quota.
So
It's a caffeine quota.
So if you have an energy drink, does that mean
I don't drink energy drinks.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But like I'm asking like the coffee fiend
Energy
here.
drink is like the elixir in Final Fantasy, like a limited item that you. That's the way I treat it as well. Like it's like
HP and MP
it
increase.
needs to literally be for like that one fight
Yeah.
that I've been saving the entire
It's like-
game for. Because that means that I end up not drinking them.
Yeah.
Because I do not want to drink energy drinks because I know that they are like not good for you.
It's the emergency recovery, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I
100%.
save it for a day. And then now in that sense, I'm like, okay, if I go over my caffeine quota for the day once every month,
Right.
who cares?
You have
Like
the caffeine quota.
in my head, well, because I feel like because
How fucking high is your caffeine quota?
well, that's the thing is that I know I could easily be a 5-day 5 coffee a day guy.
That's
I,
crazy.
I know I could get there. Like that's my potential.
I'm shitting myself just thinking about having 5 coffees a day.
And I know it sounds stupid that I'm like keeping track of it, but I feel like this is how bad life habits form.
Yeah.
Is if you don't hold yourself to standards.
This is how you develop heart problems later in life.
I know that if I become accustomed to 4-day coffee, cutting down to 3 will be very tough because I used to be a 2-day guy and I'm a 3-day guy. And
Wait,
I
what are
know-
you right now?
3.
3 a day.
And I did this. And you know what changed it? Getting the like god tier coffee machine at home
Right.
because I just felt like 2 was not enough to appreciate this machine. But
Right.
3, maybe my math was off. I think it was still within somewhat reasonable caffeine consumption.
So
for the
2
day.
is like for you 2 is like the absolute necessity, and 3 is just like if you're feeling a bit cheeky.
That's not the bone. No, 1 is an absolute necessity. If I get like on those days where I'm traveling and things are really hectic, if I can just get 1, I'm fine. Like I'm okay.
Wait, so you drink less coffee while you're traveling?
Normally, yeah.
Really?
When's the last day you went without a single cup of coffee?
I spent a long time. It feels like an intervention for me here. Speaking of which, this is brought to you by.
Speaking of which, that is mine. It is the iced coffee.
It's like talking about recovering from drugs and then being like, ladies and gentlemen, some drugs.
Yes, let me get a straw. See, that's why it doesn't count as a real cup of coffee because I drink it with a straw.
It feels like you're injecting it right into your gullet.
God, that's like saying like, this cocktail that I'm drinking doesn't actually count as alcohol because I'm drinking it with a straw.
Actually, it doesn't feel like alcohol if you drink it through a straw.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be real, Joey.
What?
Let's be real, okay?
No.
I agree with that.
I was with you on the coffee thing. I'm not with you on the
No,
alcohol.
I agree. If you just sip it through a straw, it doesn't feel real.
If you sip it through a straw, no one's getting fucked with that drink.
I think it's
I'm gonna.
I think it's why
Wait.
milkshakes as well don't feel so bad for you.
Wait, but I remember reading something, and again, I might just be making
You drink
the fuck
more
up.
through a straw.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a thing where it's like if you drink alcohol through a straw, it actually
Yeah, I drink way more, I feel like.
you drink
Yeah.
way more, and I think the alcohol like goes through you faster or something.
This feels like bullshit that we made up. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm prefacing it with I think I made it the fuck up, but I just need to be sure. No, I'm not going to try it out.
The
Harvey.
only exception is when
it's
you
fucking 12.
The only exception is when you go out with
Maybe
Chad and he
we'll drink
orders 5 Long Island iced teas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
in
yeah,
which
like,
case
I-
he
like,
also throws away the
but
straw.
also,
Let's
like,
be honest.
especially chilled drinks.
yes.
Yeah.
Because the chilled drink, when there's ice in it, it is like the natural like pause buffering on like
Right.
your
It's
drinking.
it's the chaser
because-
included
yeah,
in it, right?
Because you don't want the ice to slam.
yeah.
And so you're kind of like, okay, I got to be get a little
That's
sippy.
fair. Frozen margaritas, I do
yeah.
pack those away like no tomorrow.
Yeah, right? Because it's straw.
I get fucked up.
But I mean, I try to be considerate of my coffee consumption in all aspects of my life. I try to be considerate of consumption.
Right.
Mainly because I'm on camera, and if I start looking like shit, everyone will let me know immediately. Which
Oh
is
no,
like,
but this is double for me.
yeah.
I feel like as I've gotten older, I hate it because I look at my eyes and I'm like, I look like my dad. I fucking hate that. I look like my
Yeah.
dad.
But then I watched something about
Your dad looks awesome.
Yeah, your dad looks great.
But when was the moment where have you guys had that moment where you did something or you heard yourself and you're like, fuck, I'm my dad. Fuck,
Fuck yeah.
I remember.
I don't think I've had it yet.
You haven't
I
had
don't
it
think
yet?
I've had it yet.
I'd say maybe you have done it, and I just don't know enough about your dad's characteristics.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you
Yeah.
guys know enough about my dad's characteristics, where it's like it's very easy to see, like, oh yeah.
I mean, if you
that's-
have a drink, I'm like, that's your
Yeah.
dad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
the moment I start going, fuck, I'm shit faced. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my dad.
I remember there's this one point because my dad has a very certain like sound to his cough. It was like it was always ingrained in me as a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, that's fucking dad's cough. And I
Yeah.
remember I was like in university or something, and I just coughed a certain way, and I was just like, no. Why did I suddenly start coughing like that? My fucking cough started changing.
Wait, what is it about your dad's cough?
I can't do it on command, Joe.
Authentic.
Next time.
Next time you cough,
I'm sure
point
there are
it
things I
out.
do that I mimic my parents too. I'm sure we all.
Yeah, what's like a characteristic you see as your father's son? Like you obviously know your dad's characteristic because you know you've obviously been with him from the beginning. But like, what is like one thing where you're like, oh yeah, that's my dad?
Coming out through me.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because again, I've only met your dad twice, I think, and both
yeah.
times.
Would you
were-
not want to be like your dad?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know about your
I
dad.
mean, I think it is a natural thing to see aspects of your parents
Mm-hmm.
that because you see them so much as a kid, And then you also see that side of them where they think you're a dumb little shit because you're a kid.
Yeah.
Where I think you just see aspects of their personality like, I really don't want to pick that up. Like, I think that's normal. Like, I think everyone has that. There's probably one or two things you probably think about your dad where you're like, or mom even, where you're like, really don't want to emulate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
thing.
for sure.
And so I think there's aspects of that. And I think there's the good parts you just naturally pick up.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking you, like, what is
yeah,
like
I'm
a
trying
good
to
characteristic of your dad where you're like, you know what? If I start to emulate that, I'm cool with
I
that.
think I picked up a lot of my like soft side from my dad.
Oh,
My
yeah?
dad's a big softie.
Yeah.
So I think like there are aspects where I saw how my dad reacted to things, and I'm like, oh, I see a lot of like when I react and how I process maybe some emotions. I'm like, I kind of feel like it is a holdover of my dad, and I'm trying to like
That's a
figure
great
out
characteristic,
how that
though.
It is, yeah. There's some good things, some bad things,
Yeah.
some bad things. Like
Such as?
I'm trying to think like something that, because I also don't want to be like mean to my dad or anything like that, right?
That's all right.
God.
I'm mean to my dad all the time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh god, I had this moment, and I guess it came from like a somber moment that I can look back on, and kind of laugh at this funny little moment. But I haven't really talked about this publicly, but as you boys know, my mum went through some health issues earlier this year. It was a very, very stressful time,
But all good.
but all good now. Everything's good now.
Thank God.
But there was this moment when we were in the hospital, right? And it was me, my dad, and Sydney just looking after my mum. And I didn't realize this, but when me and my dad are stressed, we cope with it in almost the exact same way.
Right.
And even though this was like a very, very hard period for like the entire family, there was this one funny moment I remember where we were just very, very stressed about my mum. She was going through surgery, and I was like trying to keep it together. He was trying to keep it together. And the way I cope with it, and I do this subconsciously, and I didn't realize this until this moment, is you boys might realize, but when I'm in deep concentration, I'm just silent and I just like walk. Right, I can't sit still. Right, I'm just like I'm just walking, and most of the times I have like my hands behind my back when I'm like just deep in thought and stuff. And so in this hospital waiting room, I'm just subconsciously stressed.
You're like both going in a circle.
I'm just subconsciously stressed, walking around, not minding my environment at all, and I just full on walk into my dad, who is doing the exact same thing. And it's just this moment where we were just both dealing with our stress the exact same way. Don't even notice. And we just like walk into each other. Sydney sees it, has a bit of a laugh, and then I give him a hug. And then
It's like when two NPCs bump into
yeah.
just like,
and I'm like, oh God, we're the same person. We're the exact same person.
That's so cute though.
Oh, yeah.
That's something, if I was there, I would have just been like, look at him. Like father, like son.
Yeah, that was definitely Sydney. I think Sydney was just watching us just walk around in circles together.
It's nice though. I mean, you get to at least, sometimes through these kind of like pretty scary experiences, you at least get to spend more time with your family.
Yeah,
totally.
exactly.
And that memory's so cute.
Yeah.
It's such a like funny thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's so cute.
now that everything's confirmed to be good, my mom's just like, yeah, this has been a great year. You've been here like more than Japan. I'm like, actually looking back, it's been a pretty goddamn good year.
Hell yeah.
Despite all the health issues.
Yeah.
Could have gone bad way, but had
Nice.
the good ending
bless
to
your
it.
mom.
Yeah. So
Have you thought about your dad's characteristics yet? I want to know, because everyone has one, I feel.
There's this thing that my dad does, and it's so obvious when I'm around him, but I guess I do it too. It's like he like when there's other people around, he like cannot stop doing something. Like he always needs to be doing something.
Right.
And you're like, Dad, just chill. And I definitely feel like I picked this up.
Right.
Because in my head, I'm justifying. It's like, I just want to make sure everything's okay. And then I just do things that aren't necessary to be fixed in that time.
So you mean like if you have like a house party, for
Yeah, if
instance?
someone's over or
Right.
something, like I'll be like, now's a great time for me to like take out the trash. And I'm like, no, I should have like done that before. I should be like chilling with them. And I'm like, and I'm trying to turn it off, but I'm like, I just got to make things right.
Fuck, I do the exact same thing though.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
like the moment someone's around in my vicinity, it's like chore time.
Yeah, I'm like, every time like Aki like brings some like, friends over who like live nearby, I'm just like, I know them
You
enough
just
now.
clean up shit that doesn't need to really be cleaned up.
Yeah, I'm
as
just
well.
like, oh, maybe I'll like start doing the dishes. Or
Yeah,
like
that kind of stuff.
I'll
Like,
do the laundry or something. Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why I do that.
Yeah, I don't know, eh?
Well, have you ever been to a mate's house? And because, like, you know, obviously the etiquette is to clean up before your mates come. Have you ever been to a mate's house and you've had a moment when you're just like, damn, this place is like a fucking dump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Name the names.
Receipts.
Wait. Was it me? Is it?
Well, no, your house had a lot of stuff. It wasn't messy. It just had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like there's a very
Organized chaos.
There's a big difference because like your mom obviously like collects I don't know if I can say it, like collects porcelain
Yeah,
and stuff.
porcelain and stuff.
That just felt like I felt really intense about that because I was like I kind of bump into things.
Yeah.
Like I have a wide ass and I just kind of bit wider in general. So I
Yeah.
bump into things and that is like it feels like a Looney Tunes sketch walking into your living room because the entire wall was like porcelain and I'm like I'm like oh fuck.
It's literally that ball through a China shop.
Yeah, one
thing.
wrong sneeze in the doorway and
Everything comes down.
the Manitou net worth comes crashing down. And I just feel like I'm like, ah.
That is true because it's like I noticed that when I went to Garnt's house for the first time and I saw this like beautiful Chinaware. But like, my God, your mom loves to live on the edge because like those shelves, bro.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty fucking precarious.
That's how you know that I grew up in England and not Japan because
Yeah.
ain't no way her
In
place
Japan,
is surviving
my
in
house is a
Japan.
mess. But it's like I just have too much stuff.
You're right.
It's so hard to get rid of stuff.
That is true.
Especially in
Yeah.
Japan, it's so tough.
Yeah.
Not that that's my excuse. Like I could definitely throw more stuff away, but
Yeah.
yeah, I do. I'm very guilty.
Because
of
like I have like two spectrum of friends, right? Where on one spectrum, you go to their house and they're like, it's the most pristine fucking house of all time. It's
like a model
and
home.
Yeah. It's everything is clear.
Yeah.
Everything. There's not a single speck of dust.
Yeah.
And it's always that friend that was going to be like, sorry about the mess. I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have the other spectrum of friend that is, you know, looks like a bomb just went off in their apartment.
Yeah, and they're like, just find a place on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Sit anywhere.
I'm
Yeah.
cool with clutter. The point where I'm like, bro, is when like, let's say they had like, they got McDonald's takeout or something, and they've just got the wrappers lying around, or like the drink carton. I'm like, dude, literally put it from here into this container you've designated for this thing. Like that's when I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah. I feel that was a lot more common though, like kind of when we were a lot young, like early 20s and stuff.
I feel like
you know?
as we've all gotten older and we go to our friend's house,
Yeah.
I'm like struggling to think of who is actually messy.
Yeah.
I certainly remember in my like 20s or university and shit, but then I feel like it's acceptable.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
But even then, I think I was cleaner then than now. Just
Really?
because I had less stuff then, and it was a lot easier for me to keep track of it all.
Yeah.
And I'm also very good at throwing things away for me personally. But for like work stuff, I'm like, oh, I might need this for work.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when I have like these old, like, so question, when obviously you YouTube, you know, we've been doing this for quite a while. I have cameras that maybe I used 6 years ago. These cameras are not really up to snuff for like nowadays. So I don't really use it, but occasionally I just need like 6 cameras for something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is it worth getting rid of this camera? Because it takes up kind of a lot of room. And I just don't know, like that kind of stuff.
No,
There's so many things like that where
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't know if I need this.
Yeah, no, I definitely have like my old camera from like 5-6 years ago as well. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I haven't used it in probably a good 3 or 4 years, but I'm like, well, you never know.
Yeah, and I have given stuff away to friends and stuff like that. But then occasionally, like when I was partnered with Elgato, they would just send me Steam Decks. Stream Decks, sorry. No, yeah. No.
Steam Decks. Stream Decks?
Stream Decks. I was confused the two.
Okay.
So I was just in my living room, I've just got like 6 Stream Decks. And I'm like, and I have friends who want them and I've given them away.
Right.
But like this is 6 after I've given them away.
Oh, right.
So
Jesus.
yeah, just like stuff like that where it's like, it is valuable and like definitely worth it. And I'm sure maybe in future I'll be like,
Why don't you just sell them on like Medicati or something?
yeah, I feel bad about that. I feel like because the company gave it to me for free. I don't know. I feel bad.
Yeah, but
Like-
I feel like after that point, I used to think that way too, but
Yeah.
then like I don't know what it was. Something clicked in my
This
head.
is literally the most first world conversation.
It is the
of my
first
life.
world
This is
problem.
beyond
yeah.
first world
Like
problem.
this
Yeah.
is like
by
an
the way.
insane first world problem.
Yeah.
I'm listening to this and
This
I'm
is
like,
privileged
I'm like,
YouTube.
goddamn, oh my God, 6
Like, this
Stream
is such a
Decks
weird-
just lying in your house?
I will also say, like, I have realized that I've reached the peak first world problem.
Yeah.
I have like because you know we obviously we work a lot with like computer companies. I now have been given too many laptops that are like new.
Okay.
So like, and it is like, what are you like? I'm like, I don't know what to do with this.
I'll take one.
Yeah, I know. True. I should just sell it.
You know, so many people will be like, "Oh, free laptop, sick.
true.
Yeah, I'll take it."
True.
Yeah, no, but I feel like after a while, like I came to this kind of realization where it's
What
like,
does Marcus Brownlee do with this shit?
I don't know, but
Probably just has a warehouse.
but bro's got like
bro's got the
fucking
warehouse.
17-story warehouse
Yeah,
or something,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Like, which we don't have here. But like, I kind of came to this realization after a while of like getting so many like free stuff from companies where, you know,
I literally say no to everything now.
yeah. Or like, you know, if I do get them and then after a while, maybe I'll be like, oh, you know, maybe I can't utilize this as well as someone else can. Then I have no problems like giving it away to people or even like selling it because it's like, well, you know, I'd rather it actually go to someone than be just chucked away in the trash, right?
True.
This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by Vessi. Guys, if you're a fan of the show, you know that we wear Vessis every single day. I own no other shoes but my Vessis. Campus life, cafe work sessions, even if you're going out to walk your dog in the morning, Vessis has got you covered. They've got you covered so much that Joey wore some to my wedding. I even wore these to my Thai wedding. Yes, I cannot get away from Vessis, guys. And why? Because of their waterproof Dymatex technology that makes rainproof adventures without compromise. Slip-on ease makes busy mornings smoother, and also it's easy to clean. And guys, what I got here are the Vessi weekend sneakers. These are just perfect for city commutes. They're super comfortable. They're really, really low maintenance. So guys, what are you waiting for? Join the Vessi gang today by clicking that link in the description or going to vessi.com/trashtaste to get 15% off your first order, and that also comes with a 1-year warranty and 30-day hassle-free return. That's vessi.com/trashtaste.
Dude, I got this fucking, when I went to New York for the Metal Gear stuff, they gave me the sickest Metal Gear jacket. I gotta show you guys. I put it in the episode on the pictures.
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
Should be out by now.
Have you talked about it?
No, not at all.
What, the Metal Gear?
The New York
Yeah,
Metal Gear stuff?
you went to New York to film a Metal Gear video?
Yeah,
Correct.
So about 3 months ago, I got offered to go to New York, which I was like, yo, sick, to promote the new Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's coming out next week, I think, as of us recording this.
Yeah. With
Is
this,
that actually?
when is this episode coming out? Like, should be like next week or something, right?
I think it's next week. Yeah. Huh? September 6th? Okay, yeah.
like
Yeah,
close
so
enough.
2 weeks
Yeah.
from now.
So
yeah.
by now, I guess Metal Gear Delta will be out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went to promote it. And I've always wanted to get into the series, hence I've spoken about it on the show. I played 1, 2, and 3. And I've always wanted to get into it. And this was like the perfect excuse to kind of be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and finally play it. Because I wanted to play all 3 of them to kind of go into this experience and play it. Because I was like, dude, getting paid to promote one of the coolest games of all time, easy.
Yeah.
Like please.
Hell yeah.
We promote a lot of things that I think is fair to say maybe we don't care so much about. I think that's true. Look, it's just a reality.
We're being
of it,
real.
right? Look, I'm trying to get the
I don't know.
bag.
Speak about yourself, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
no.
lucky. You're lucky. You have a love for an affinity of certain games, and you get rewarded handsomely for it.
Yeah.
Me not so much.
Must be nice.
It's great because I'm the target audience.
You are the target audience. So I played the whole series and went to New York. New York was really cool. I love New York. It was a lot of fun. Better than LA, I think, in general.
Yeah, well, that's,
Like as a city.
Yeah.
But I don't have as many friends there. But we went to New York and I went just to promote a Metal Gear. It was really cool. First day I played 8 hours of the game, and that was really fun because it was literally just
It's like
metal.
half the game, right?
Yeah, I did half the game.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I beat all the Cobras.
Oh, shit.
Got to like the final area.
Yeah.
But it is basically just Metal Gear Solid 3, but new.
Yeah, I've heard from some other people that you don't really have to play the original 3 after this.
Not
because
at
It's
all.
basically the same game, just better graphics.
Yeah, I think if you just want that kind of retro vibe, and I think it's still not a bad, like the game
Yeah,
is
there's still a
aged
market for it
phenomenally.
for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
The new one is just like if you do want prettier graphics and you want mainly, I think the nicer controls. I think the control because when you boot up the game, they offer you if you want the older controls or the newer ones.
What do they change about the controls?
It's like more in line with like common FPS kind of movement and controls now. So like the trigger is what you would. This one is what you aim with, and this one's what you shoot with. Because in the original, that is not how it's like X to aim and try and like X to let go, but you'd have to press the right joystick to pull out the gun, and then you press another button to aim down sights, then X to shoot.
Yeah.
It's like not very good controls. Like I love the game so much. And I had a lot of fun, but the one thing that I did not like about Metal Gear is that I think the controls were a product of its time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, even like Metal Gear Solid 1, that's on the old DualShock that didn't have the analogs.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, it's just fine. Like, it was amazing at the time. And I think now newer games have a bit nicer controls. Maybe I'll get like people angry for saying that, but I feel like it's nice to have the option.
Right.
And you can play the original controls if you want still.
Yeah.
They have like the camo is a bit easier. It's like a quick menu now. So like all the things that maybe were a bit sluggish in the older
Just
one.
quality of life changes.
Yeah.
If you getting the codec, instead of having to go into a menu, you can just hold down the D-pad and press up.
Oh,
and then
okay.
it brings up a dial, kind of like Red Dead with the guns, to choose the codec you want.
Okay.
So you hold up and then you can just click the thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's like not a full pause menu, it just goes over so it's like, there's like a lot of changes that I felt like, okay, just nice quality of life. And all the voice acting is literally the same. It's literally the lines taken. They recorded a couple of extra things. I know I'm basically promoting the game now, but I don't mind because the game's fucking good.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
it's MGS3. One of my
Yeah.
favorite
it's
games.
literally
of,
MGS3. And
one of my favorite games of all time. So
But I think they did it was because MGS3 is probably the fan favorite. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
Yep.
And it is the prologue. So if you wanted to get into Metal Gear, I think it's actually a great point to start, see if you like it, if you're hesitant about playing older games. So look, we live in this age where some people don't like playing old games or
Fair.
feeling like they're old.
Yeah.
I think that is something
valid,
that
yeah.
you will learn to get over at some point in your life. But that is like a truth.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good starting point if you want to get into the insanity that is Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a great way to get into it. And there's some things that they've added that I think are not in the game, but maybe were intended to be in the game at some point. I don't fully understand because they were telling me something that they was not public at the time about something that had been added and that it was a secret and they wanted people to find it when the game comes out. And they were explaining what it was to me. I was like, no, I have no idea. I didn't because I think it was like very deep Metal Gear lore
Right.
Yeah.
about like super, super deep in the fandom. But again, game is awesome. If you are interested in playing Metal Gear, sorry for boring you, please go play it. It is peak. It is so much fun. And it might not be like the most cohesive story. It's probably, the 3 is probably the best one, I think, in terms of being linear, not being so weird. And if you just want goofy Metal Gear.
It's still a little bit weird.
It's a little bit weird, but out of the 3, I feel like it is the least weird.
Yeah, I'd say
yeah.
so. But it's still very much Metal Gear.
It's still weird, but,
Yeah.
that's what's so good about it.
Yeah,
dude.
it's still
That's what's
Kojima as fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like, please, it's a great place to start. It is not going to be like the. I think you always walk away from a Metal Gear game feeling something, which I think is something that not a lot of media does.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think worth playing. Anyway, I did like hide and seek in Central Park. The video should be out by now. Well out by now. They like closed off a bunch of Central Park,
God damn.
and we had
How
this
much
whole
budget did they have?
I don't know.
That's like what movies do.
Yeah.
Well, it
How
was
much
like
does that cost?
they had like a full production thing, and the press event looked crazy. So they had this building in Times Square, which I mean couldn't have been cheap. Whereas like the whole room was, and I was talking to the guy. They had to get custom flowers made, like custom fake flowers made for this room. Was all screens, and in the middle was this whole fake garden, and it was the white like kind of lilies at the end of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you not
Yeah.
to spoil it.
Yeah.
So the whole room was like lilies.
cool.
And then
shit.
on the walls was Snake and then the other character that you talked to at this time.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool because you're in this thing and all the lines are playing. It was so sick. And then we got to play there, and it was so awesome. Everything about this event was so sick. And like the theme of it was so cool. And I was like, damn, they must have spent a lot of money. It was so
bet.
cool though.
Yeah.
And then I was chilling in the room. I'll get back to the hide and seek. And I was chatting with the Konami guy. They were all so cool. They were so nice, so passionate about the game. And he was like, "Yeah, you want to speak to David Hayter?" I was like, "No, I don't want to bother David. Dude, I don't want to be." He said, "No." So I get to chat to David. He was so sweet. He was so fucking nice. It's so cool, dude. He was telling me about how he's going to Wales and stuff. And so
shit.
we were chatting about it. It was really nice, and got to take a picture with him. But had so many conversations with him, and got to speak to Cynthia, who's the singer of Snake Eater.
Oh, fuck
And that
yeah.
was really cool. So they were all so cool. And like the one thing that I noticed about everyone who was there for Metal Gear, who was like like David or Cynthia, or they had I forgot her name, but I know she's the voice of Big Boss and Pearl from SpongeBob. I forgot her name, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
Every single one of these actors, like the way they would talk about Metal Gear to me, because I told them like I just recently got into it, they were all so passionate about like the game and the franchise.
Yeah.
And like they hadn't recorded like much for this game in like, I think like decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know David had recorded stuff, but like 3. Like this is like 2004.
Yeah.
But they were all talking about this game like it was their baby. Like every single one of them was so passionate about this game, and all the Konami people were so passionate. Like it was cool to see a room that was a big like AAA game, but like literally everyone was like fucking into this series so much and like loved it.
Oh, that's just the power of a beloved IP, isn't it?
Yeah, man, it was so sick to see that. And then obviously when I'm playing this game, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's obvious you guys fucking love this game because it is literally 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's just like the sound design is like really nice. Like they've added a bit of like more sound effects, and it's just it's nice.
Like the ambience is better.
It's like nice.
Yeah.
Like listening to this thing with like speakers on, it's good.
I mean, I guess that whole thing of like just, you don't have to fix something that's not broken.
Dude, I'm so glad they didn't change the voice lines, because the voice lines are so
they're
good
perfect.
already.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just make everything else around the core of it amazing. And like everything is 1-to-1. Like even where like the snakes are placed on the map.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Like like every single thing is the same.
That's sick.
The only thing that's changed is like the tranquilizer dart has bullet drop off,
Oh,
which I guess
okay.
makes sense because it's like a dart.
more
so-
realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, awesome. Anyway,
yeah.
did the hide and seek. Sorry to talk about it. I fucking love this game. And it was so fucking good to do this.
That's
I
all
was
good.
so fucking sick. And I love those guys. They were so sweet. We did the hide and seek. I tried so hard to win this because I wanted to fucking win this. It
Yeah.
was me, Rogers Base, the Black Hokage, and Phantom, which is like the most
What a weird combo.
weirdest combo of creators. And I didn't know who I was going to be with until I got there.
Yeah.
But they were all really sweet, and like I didn't like know. I knew Rogers Base a little bit, but I didn't know any of these guys.
These
so
are like 4 different corners of the
Yeah.
creatorverse.
Yeah.
yeah, and they
Totally.
were all really sweet, and there was some mutuals there between. So I chatted with them a bunch, and everyone was so sweet. And it was really nice getting to chat with them and see how they do it. And it was so we did the hide and seek, and it was interesting because we all just had such different vibes, and they gave us ghillie suits and face paint, like camo face paint.
Yeah.
And then we just had to hide in this park. And I tried so goddamn hard not to get caught, because I was like burying myself in leaves and stuff in the ghillie suit. And I didn't get caught a single time
Oh,
by any of the
shit.
creators. And at one time I climbed in a tree, and it worked so good, but then they were so like, oh my God, please don't do that again. they were like, we do not want you to fall. I was like,
We don't
don't
do
worry about it.
insurance on this shit.
Yeah.
I was like, you couldn't find me. They couldn't find me to tell me.
It's like, I'm just playing the game, boys.
But yeah, I didn't get caught. And then, yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. And it was just, it was really nice. It was so cool to film something with a crew as well in America. I like filming with crews in America. They're pretty,
Yeah. I mean, they have
make
a
it
lot of
pretty-
experience. They make it pretty seamless as well.
Yeah.
there's
totally.
just so many guys. There's just so many bodies and so many people doing things. And then it's great because you just get to sit around, chat, and then like, all right, do the thing. I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's kind of how it was when we did the Hawaii special as well. I remember there was like 50 fucking staff members then. We were like, what do half these people do? I don't know. But they're
Yeah.
doing their job.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who like do things that like aren't necessarily translated to the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also like helping people be where they need to be or moving
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, you're always like, okay. You're like, oh, what's going on? They're like, do you want food? Do you want drink? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Why not?
Say less.
With a like ghillie suit, and they're like, do you want water? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, why not? That's great.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it was so much fun. And New York was great. I got to hang out with some friends too, some of our friends, like
Yeah.
close friends. I got to hang out with Schlatt,
Oh,
who
yeah.
took me
Oh.
to a sushi restaurant in
Oh, because of course, yeah.
Did he book the place?
Of course he booked the place.
Okay. Okay.
I will, because I told him, I was like, I don't care where you take me. Don't take me to a place you think I want to go to. Take me to a place you go to. I don't care if it's Japanese or whatever, but
Yeah.
of course it was sushi. I was like, fair enough. And we went there and it was great. The food was good. It was very nice, but the bill was like $650 per person.
That's so fucked.
And I went out for sushi last
Average
night.
night out in New
Oh,
York.
I went out for
God.
sushi last night to what I think is expensive sushi in Japan, and like very nice, very premium. And that was only like yonman for 2 people, which is kind of expensive for Japan.
That's
which
very
is what,
expensive
like
for
that's
Japan.
Very expensive.
250 per
That's
person.
still very expensive.
I also went to sushi yesterday with Aki, but we went to a sushi train, and for the two of us, it was 5,000 yen.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And I'm like, that's what's up.
That's the price, baby.
Don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good too. I mean, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, because in my mind, what like I was trying to get at is that like what I went to yesterday was what this was trying to.
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
right.
And it was funny because I went to that sushi chef, the one I went to yesterday. I go to this place somewhat often. Whenever I need to bring people to sushi, because oftentimes people who visit, like friends, YouTubers, or anything, they always want to go to sushi.
Yeah.
yeah.
And this place is really good because the sushi guy actually was used to be a sushi chef in New York too.
Oh,
for a while.
Oh, okay.
So he trained there for a while in one of the big, very fancy hotel ones. And so it's really fun chatting with him because he loves talking about the difference and stuff. But also he speaks a bit of English. So we're able to help change. And he doesn't get offended if some people, he's like, anything you don't want to eat in the omakase, then, he'll be like, okay, I'm always like, sorry, man, can I change the uni? And he's like, he always gives me shit for
Despicable.
it. He always gives me shit for it.
Good.
He literally goes, goo goo gaga no uni. He literally goes like that. I'm not kidding.
Based.
He makes fun of me every single
As he should.
As he
He
should.
literally goes like this. Wow, uni nine there. And he's like, how long have you been in Japan now? That's what he says. But I love that he's willing to do that.
Yeah.
I love the rapport.
That's how you know he's been in New York.
Yeah. But it's great for like my parents, like, because then he also, because dude, the thing about the when you go to a sushi, this is like the difference between if you've ever had sushi in Japan versus in America, is that if you go to a nice place in America, generally speaking, I find that the fish that they use are somewhat fish that you might know or you might have heard of. Whereas when I go to the sushi place here, I never heard of these fish. Straight up, I don't even know what this is.
Right.
Like he'll explain this to me in Japanese. I've never heard of this in Japanese or English. Like,
Really?
not even close. There are some things like, I think he gave one thing that was like, it was like a type of baby squid that was from like Kyushu or something. And he was explaining it to me and I'd never seen the squid that looked like this.
Oh.
It was and it wasn't like the one that you get in spring, the baby one. The
Yeah.
aba,
Yeah.
The Hotaru Ika.
Hotaru. It wasn't like Hotaru. It was something different.
Yeah.
It's just shit I've never seen in my life. The stuff that you never get in America, I feel
Right,
like in the omakase, at least that I've had in my experience. They're normally like,
They're probably like delicacies here, maybe then.
absolutely.
Or like rare
and
ingredients, yeah.
And I think seasonality is a big thing in Japan
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
sushi
Yes.
restaurants. Like
Well,
they
it's
will
everywhere.
Yeah, they'll definitely, the menu will be near enough totally different except for one or two staples. Like
Yeah.
obviously like if
Like
you're
tuna
tuna,
and salmon
obviously
and
they
stuff,
give, because that's
yeah.
like a highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
shit tastes good
interesting.
all year round.
But like, yeah, so I think it's really interesting the differences, but I was just like 650 and then he gave me shit because I only tipped $50. And I felt bad because he was giving me shit. And I was like, no, I know it should be 20%, but I just can't bring myself to tip more than 50
You
bucks.
tipped an entire meal's worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I paid 700
Easily.
bucks. And then it was killing me. It was killing me, bro. I couldn't do it. And it wasn't as good. Like it was very, okay, no, actually it was,
It was mid.
to be fair, it was as good. Like it
Right.
was, but the price was.
Yeah, it was overpriced as
Yeah.
shit.
No,
Yeah,
fuck no,
clearly.
fuck
Yeah.
no.
I mean, I don't think any amount of like godly fucking
Yeah.
fish can justify $650 with a $50
Is that per
tip.
person?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went with Schlatt, so that's what at least
the
1,300.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
That's crazy.
1,300.
my
That's
God.
like that's most people's rent.
No, it's crazy. I recognize it's crazy. But you know what? When in New York, ball up.
Did Schlatt pay for it?
No, we're in half, dude.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I if it was like, because when people come to Japan, I normally will pay.
Yeah.
If it was over a certain amount, I would be like,
Yeah.
we should-
Yeah,
I
maybe-
think it's reasonable to be
Yes.
like, I think we should
Yeah.
split.
Of
Like,
course, of
I think
course.
there's a certain amount where you're like, no, I think we're splitting.
Yeah. That's a lot of money even for me.
Yeah.
I think even when I've had, if they go to sushi and there's like 6 of us, I think sometimes I've covered it, but sometimes I've been like, can we all?
Yeah,
chip in?
I usually determine it based on like the grand total, right? Because if it's
Yeah.
like if it's like ichiman or niman for like 2, 3,
Yeah,
4
whatever.
of us, then I'll be like, fuck it,
Yeah,
I'll pay
whatever.
for it.
Yeah.
It's cool. But when it starts getting into like the 3man, 4man, 5man territory, which it doesn't happen a lot for me,
Yeah.
then I'm just be like,
I mean,
let's weigh my options here.
the
You guys got money, right?
I got like the top, genuinely, like, and I mean this wholeheartedly, like probably like top 3 things of being successful and I mean, like making a lot of money is that I can pay for meals for people I care about.
Totally.
Like that's my favorite thing. That is like the best thing that I feel like is like my quality of life is being like, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, let me get you a nice fucking meal.
Yeah, totally.
Like being able to do that for the people I care about.
Absolutely.
That's like one of the best things.
There's no better feeling too.
Same
right?
here. Same
Like
here.
that is like so fucking baller. 'Cause I'm like, let's just get a fucking nice meal.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Exactly.
let me take care of you.
Just buy me a beer at the next place and that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like, I think everyone knows this, but like friends, it's all about like, the connection you have with them.
It's not about the money.
It's all about the little things.
And so being able to be like, hey man, I care so much about you. Let me just get this. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not about money. It's about fucking like, let's just have a fucking good time together.
Yeah.
And
That's how I spend most of my money, I feel.
Yes. I
Same
think
here.
it is one of my biggest expenditures.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hey, got to do it. You only get to live once. Fucking YOLO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Credit card debt. Let's go. Okay.
Maxing out my credit card just for you, baby, because I care about you.
And I know, but I always makes me so sad. People are like, man, I can't relate to Trashers anymore. I'm like, yeah, I know. Sorry, buddy. I just try to be honest.
We never said we were relatable.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Shopify. Boys, I'm sure you are all aware of this right now, and I hope you are aware of this by now, that I've been running this clothing brand called Nonsense for the past 3 and so years. But when I started with the idea 3 years ago, there was just one problem that I had. I didn't really know how to run an online shop. I wasn't going to start with a physical shop because that's expensive, but I also had no idea on how to run an e-commerce website. Like, I have all these great designs, but how am I going to send them out to people all over the world? Thankfully for us, there was Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. You can get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand's style. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Because if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. So turn your big business ideas into cash money with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/trash. Go to shopify.com/trash. That's shopify.com/trash. Back to the episode.
Yeah, but New York was great there.
Was that the best meal you had in New York?
You fucking hope it was with the amount of money you spent.
I don't know. New York's pretty banger for food,
That is true.
Of all price ranges.
The best meal I had in New York was during tour when what's this guy took us to this fucking random ass deli in Soho that he recommended, and it was the fattest sandwich I've ever seen in my life.
New York's good food, man.
It was like that, and proper like foot long sub.
Yeah.
And this thing was like fucking this thick. I couldn't even get it in my mouth.
I mean, New York don't
and that
fuck
shit
around.
was like 20, it's like $22-$23, but fuck me, it was so good.
I mean, I think what America does well is that you can always get an amount of food at whatever price point you are looking for.
Yeah.
And I think that can't be said about Japan as much. And the UK, I feel like it often, it's not as easy. Whereas I feel like America is so food centric in a lot of aspects of the culture where you can get almost anything at any price point, any size.
I don't
normally.
know. I think I have to disagree because I think Japan does that pretty damn well as well. It's just that I think on the upper echelon of price points, Japan maybe struggles with a little bit more than America.
Yeah.
But in terms of like a single type of dish or a single type of cuisine, you can, for the most part, get it at any price point.
Yeah, but I feel like
unless it's like something like really niche, like Greek food or something in Japan, where it's like this one restaurant.
It's kind of stuff like that I wish that Japan had a little bit more of. Because in America, it's like kind of insane how specific you can get with the food.
Oh, totally.
Or like when Maylene made us like Ethiopian stew or something.
Yeah,
I was like, why isn't there like Ethiopian joint that I can just rock up to and just fucking?
Probably because there's like 7 Ethiopians living in Japan.
That's what I mean, right? Like, and I feel like in New York, especially, or like other parts.
Oh,
of
in those kind of cities, it's a cultural melting pot,
right.
where you have a lot of people from a lot of
different strength.
Because Australia is the exact same thing as well. Like you get some of the most like, I didn't even know like this specific country had a cuisine, let alone an entire restaurant dedicated to it.
I had three standout meals.
Okay.
I had the sushi, which is great.
Yep.
And that was a good night overall. was really fun. I went to the Puerto Rican place, which was really good, but I was fucked afterwards. I had so much food. And it was so heavy. And then
As it should be.
I had like a lunch time available, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to a steak place. I just wanted the steak. Because it's so hard to get a type of steak here.
Yeah.
I feel like it is very easy to get steak and Wagyu here, but it's like that kind of steak with so many different sauces and that kind of like
True.
the nice sides.
Just a big plate
Just
of
a
meat.
fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
And dude, I went to this one place. It was so good. It was so expensive. It was like 200 grams of fillet. It was not even that much. But they had broccolini on the side, and I love broccolini. I get excited about broccolini. Japan needs to learn. Japan needs broccolini. We gotta like get more of it.
Oh, dude, you want to know something fun about broccolini I learned the other day? Completely coincidental, by the way.
It's like made up from like scientists.
It was
right?
invented in Japan.
Yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
It was invented in
serious?
Yokohama.
Why are they not having it more here?
Can we fact check this?
Yeah, I looked this up. I was drinking with a friend.
Broccolini
and we
is like-
randomly. I was talking about like this pasta dish that I like making that uses broccolini.
Yokohama.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was talking about this pasta dish to a friend, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love." Usually, when I'm home in Australia, I use broccolini because it's so easy to get. But it's really hard to
Crazy, they
find
don't
in
have it
Japan.
here.
Yeah.
And then my friend was like, "That's so weird because it was invented in Japan." I was like, "No, fucking wasn't." I looked it up. Yeah, it was invented in fucking Yokohama in like the 70s or something.
Dude.
That's
So
on
it's
the
like,
list.
where's all the broccolini in Japan?
Broccolini is like SSSR for me.
It's so good.
It is like such a good side. It's got a phenomenal crunch and texture.
Yeah.
It holds like dressings a little well, like spices, or you put a little, I don't know, you cook it in a little bit of oil, chili flakes, little garlic, fried garlic. Oh,
I've never
it's
seen
so
him talk
good.
like this before.
Like which Japanese
I could genuinely eat an entire plate of broccolini.
Yeah, which Japanese genius looked at a plate of broccoli and went like, make it anorexic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Long anorexic.
Long and anorexic and crunchy.
It's genius. 'Cause
Genius.
He
Yeah.
made the stem like a third of the size, but like just made it long. And
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's so good.
So I'm glad that it exists, but Japan needs to get on this more. And also,
Yeah, we're fucking exporting all of our broccolini apparently.
no fucking. And also, like, I don't know why, but in America, when I've had, and the UK is good at this too, but Japan, I feel like not so much. Whenever you get roast potatoes on the side in America, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do know how to do good
it's
roast
so good.
potatoes.
Little roast, like the new potatoes. The small
Yeah,
ones.
Yeah.
And so, and then this one place it was like steak, fillet, and they had like salsa verde or something sauce.
All right.
And it
Yeah.
was so fucking good. And then they had like, oh, dude, there's the kind of sauces that you would never get this in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, but the real question is how much did the steak cost?
Oh, like stupid, bro. It was like $60 for that slab.
For 200 grams?
Yeah, like nothing. Bro.
Damn.
That's a small steak in a.
Well, yeah, because I knew I was going for a side angle and I was
Yeah.
getting dessert.
Yeah,
so I was
right.
running
Yeah.
around. And the server was trying to bait me into getting more food. And I was like, I don't think I can eat that much. But they were very nice there. And I sat outside. And dude, that's another thing. I ate my steak outside.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day. Perfect weather. No humidity. I was outside on the pier eating my steak. I was like, this
Japan needs to do more like outside
outdoor
seating.
seating is, but there's just no room.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
room. But when you do find that one spot in spring,
Yeah. Go
it's
to.
like,
Spring or autumn.
Yeah.
and then they'll be
Just-
like 2 hour limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
2
like,
hours. Yeah,
and then
they're
there's like, there's like a fence up, and you're like, God
Yeah.
damn it,
Yeah, they're always
Japan."
like 2 hour limit. I'm like, there's 3 people in this restaurant. Who are we waiting for?
It's so lame. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to at least have like 1 or 2 days where I like relaxed a little bit because I it's work
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
for the rest of the year.
It's also
I
a
don't mind.
fucking long way away as well.
Oh my god,
Yeah, how long's the flight?
14 hours. It's brutal, man.
Brutal.
Because that
Direct,
was
right?
yeah, that was just nice. I like to sort of try and get night flights and sleep, but going from like it was like 9 a.m. So I just woke up and I'm awake.
Yeah.
But I did watch all of Mushoku Tensei season 2.
Oh shit!
Oh, on the flight?
I
Wait,
watched all
that's
of it.
such a plot twist. Out
I
of all
watched
the
all of
shows, you chose Mushoku Tensei season 2.
Well, season 3 is coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, I felt like I had been led astray with what people had told me about 2. Everyone called it erectile dysfunction arc.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't want to watch that.
I mean, it is accurate. It is erectile dysfunction arc.
But
half
that's
of
accurate.
it is.
But then I feel
Yes.
like but then I don't know what happened. I was looking for something to watch on the way back, and I thought, if you'd have told me what season 1 was from like a 2-line basis, I wouldn't have watched that shit either. But I watched it and I thought, okay,
Yeah.
this was worth watching.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to download it all and I'll watch it on the way back. And I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I didn't start season 2 because of that exact reason.
Let's go.
I think if you, because if I'd have told you that season 1 is about a guy who is born as a child and is a perv, you'd be like, I don't want to watch that shit.
I mean, I did watch season 1 and I was like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
But then when people around me were like, yo, season 2 is all about erectile dysfunction, I'm like, you're not selling me on this
he
at all.
solves it like episode 7. Like it's
it's still like, no, he solves it episode 12.
Is it 12?
It is 12. So there's a big thing that happens.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
And it's like,
and
it's not his cock.
look,
but it was only like a big point of the episode for like 2 episodes, and then it's on the back burner.
I guess like it's weird. You can't talk about this out of context without just sounding like the biggest fucking degenerate or watching like the weirdest shit. Because this emotion, like the climax, like the half-season climax of Mushoku Tensei season 2. Is Rudy boning a girl?
The climax is that
if you think about it, right?
The climax is that he climaxes.
Yeah, the climax is that he climaxes. But it's so like it's so hard to talk about because I actually defend the erectile dysfunction arc a lot because
I think it's great.
Yeah, I was like, this is watching it. Haha, okay, erectile dysfunction, blah blah blah, meme stuff, and then you look at how it handles it, and they treat it 100% seriously. You know, it is like a big part of his character arc when it comes to him dealing with depression. And I was just like, after you get over that initial hump where it's just like laughing at a meme, I guess, an anime meme, it more becomes, I actually really respect the decision to go in this direction to explore a topic that.
See, I wish someone had fucking initially sold it to me like this.
Yeah.
Because this actually sounds enticing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine any show that would be willing to take this on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I can't think of many anime that would.
I mean, the only
have
ones that would be like fucking ecchi or harem shows and then make a fucking mockery out of it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right? It would be the butt of a joke. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, and I guess maybe which is like, this is like another thing where it's like, maybe I think like, I'm like, damn, that's so brave. If they, they're like, okay, they're doing a whole show about like a guy with erectile dysfunction. And as a guy, I can be like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what if it was, I don't know, what if the roles were reversed? It was about a woman with like menstrual pains. I'm like, would anime viewers be slightly more willing to give it a shot? I think less, probably.
I think
like,
less,
Which is
yeah.
like, I'm like, damn, I feel like we're not quite there yet where that could probably be like a thing in a show.
Yeah.
Not that should be a thing, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it is a uniquely guy thing
Totally.
to be able to have the perspective. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think the way that
like,
the show handles it,
Yeah.
I think it's not about the dick or being a guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's about
All the circumstances around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's about where he's at in life.
It's
Right,
a product of his emotional state.
It just so
Right.
happens that it is a thing that only guys can experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think it's a uniquely, and I think it's smart that they use that because it is a uniquely vulnerable thing that I think a lot of guys, no matter how macho you are, would be self-conscious about if
Totally.
that was something that you experienced.
So now what I'm expecting from season 3 is that Rudy goes through male pattern baldness. And then we go through a character arc of
Unfortunately,
that.
his dad, phenomenal lock of hair. Phenomenal hairline.
Shit.
Phenomenal hairline.
maybe,
that
maybe
would
in
be
his
even
previous
more
life.
tragic.
Maybe in his previous life.
What is
Yeah.
what is the in-world turkey? Like he's hitting up he's like he comes back with the bandages on the EasyJet flight. No, but I really enjoyed it. It's a funny thing because I think as I had more time one thing that I think I have experienced more over time now is that I have thought about shows more that I watched a very long time ago and had my mind changed just in time.
Yeah.
But no, like not like changing how I think or trying to think differently about it. I just think about a show and I remember I feel differently than when I thought about it
Opinions
initially.
change all the time, yeah.
But I feel like this is a rare thing to do online. This is the thing I never see discussed.
Because then you'd be called a backpedaler or you're a hypocrite. And it's like,
Like,
no.
I've changed my mind about so many shows in my just like YouTube career.
Yeah.
And there's no
And comments always remember because there's a
there's a
slate-
clip of you
saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
This you, bro?
Yeah.
But
You
like,
said this?
You didn't say this 7 years ago, and
Yeah.
it's like, bro, it was 7
Whereas
years
you
ago.
would never have this discussion with a friend. Like
Yeah.
you would never do this with a friend. You'd
Yeah.
be like, well, 7 years ago you said you like doing this. What's changed? And it's like obviously between friends you would understand, but for some reason online because it's immortalized in a clip, it feels
Yeah.
like
yeah.
so I understand. Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
And on the opposite spectrum, if you end up liking every show, then sometimes people were just like, he's like paid off or something.
He's
because,
dick riding.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just likes, he's just a hype man.
Yeah.
You know, there is unfortunately no winning. So you
But
can
then if
only
you
just,
hate everything, then it's be like, oh, then why are you even talking about it?
Yeah.
So there's no winning.
there is literally no winning. So the best way to go about it is just be true to yourself and
Not
just,
giving a fuck.
just hope that there are not terminally online people that can understand that people are still people and opinions are
That's
very
the
human.
problem, though, isn't it?
But I think luckily, I think, 95% of people understand that. But I think, unfortunately, people who normally do that have an agenda as well.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, of course.
they want to paint a narrative. And
Yeah.
you changing your mind might not line up.
They
with
want
that
any
narrative.
excuse to be like, see, here's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sorry, I don't like your favorite show, bro.
Yes.
But the reason I said that is because I feel like, maybe because watching season 2, but maybe the reason why I wanted to watch this is because I think maybe my opinions had changed slightly on season 1 and how I felt about it. And mainly, you know why? Because I don't know why I was getting recommended this. I would always get fucking recommended the Mushoku Tensei Reddit. On my Reddit app. So I get recommended these weird, so I do not know.
What is the algorithm?
I do not know how because I also got it is the weird. I got recommended Onion Lovers, r/Onion Lovers. 200k people in that subreddit, by the way.
200K?
So
I mean, onions are pretty good.
and like I'll just scroll and I get the weird. And now I don't know why I get recommended constantly the Herman Miller subreddit. I don't know why.
Well,
I
you
just-
have been talking about getting a Herman Miller
Yeah.
for a while.
No, I haven't. I've had a Herman Miller for a
No,
long
no,
time.
here in the office.
We're seeing
Yeah, maybe
Inception
listening.
in real time.
So like if I refresh, right, let me just scroll. r/ramen. I don't know why I get that. Actually I know why, because occasionally I think one time I got recommended it and it was an Ichiran and I wanted to see people fighting in the comments. And they were fighting. r/burgers. Why am I getting recommended that?
Because you love burgers.
r/PC Master Race. I've never clicked on that. r/Comedy Heaven. I don't know what that is. r/Ghibli. I've never gone on the Ghibli. r/McDonald's. What could they possibly be discussing in the McDonald's subreddit?
Bro, you're searching up a lot of food.
r/lies. What is that? What is that?
they just must understand a part of your brain that you haven't
Yeah,
Yeah, you know
the
what I mean?
algorithm knows you better than you
Okay,
do.
this
Yeah.
is the first. r/Zip Air. Why am I getting
Zip Air?
the airline? Why am
Oh.
I getting recommended this?
The fuck?
Obviously, there's some algorithms that are like clicking what I'm. But so anyway, I got recommended the Mushoku Tensei Reddit,
Subreddit.
and it was, and I clicked on it because they were arguing about obviously there are like things that anime fans will discuss to the end of time, and one of them is Rudy. That I think like there is a sticking point of like. They were like, it was framed in such a facetious way of like, why do the Japanese like Rudy and the Western people don't like Rudy? And I'm like, I don't think like it is that simple. I think there are a lot of people in Japan who might not fuck with Rudy, and there are a lot of fans in Japan who would fuck with Rudy as a character.
Totally.
Yeah. I think my stance on it is that Rudy is just, whether you like him or hate him, he's a interesting character.
Yeah, and that's the kind of why I went back to it. Is because I was reading these people arguing, and I was like, my God, it's like again they've decided a thing. Every single person, not every single person. There were some people who were trying to maybe explain a bit more of the nuance, but they'd seen a thing and decided this bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I think Rudy has done a lot of shitty things, but it's also about like how do you change as a person when you've done so many unforgivable things and you're given this new slate? Is it right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But what do you do if you were in this situation and you have these personality things you want to change? And I think that's why I was like, you know what? I do want to watch season 2.
Yeah.
Because I do want to actually see how this goes.
Also, I feel a lot of people don't understand that like it's a piece of fiction and they're trying to tell an interesting story. And sometimes you're going to have characters that you don't necessarily think are good people.
I also
It
think
doesn't mean they're bad characters though.
yeah, and I think sorry, I keep saying I think when you watch Rudy do something kind of deplorable, it is good that you feel that way.
Yeah.
that is your reaction.
It's better to have
that's
any
good.
emotional reaction to it than just nothing.
But I don't think watching Rudy do these things is also an endorsement of Rudy, because the show at times also is like showing you, I think, why it it is not working for Rudy.
Right,
And a lot
right.
of people around him feel like he's a creep or disgusting.
Yeah.
So I think
Like people think he's a fucking real person or something. And
Yeah,
it's like, he's a fictional character.
in the first season, I really struggled because I really didn't like watching Rudy.
Right.
Because I felt like Rudy in season 1 is really hard to watch.
Yeah,
I
was.
really didn't like watching
Yeah.
it. And there's other couple of choices that maybe the show made that maybe also made it harder to watch.
Right.
Like the fact that in season 1, there's a lot of interaction between him and younger people, which
Yeah.
it's just hard to get over. Like
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I still don't think that you can write it off and be like, there's nothing interesting being said here. And I think season 2 solidified for me that I was like, yeah, I think I really like what the show is trying to disseminate and try to explore. Yeah, because especially like season 2 is so slow. Like it spends so much time on Rudy and friends and like his interactions with other people, which I think is really needed.
Yeah.
I think it would.
I would say so, because even though people memed on the erectile dysfunction arc, my least favorite part of season 2 was actually the ending of season 2.
Yes,
because
for
like the severity of some of the life decisions Rudy decides to make, it seemed like erectile dysfunction fucking loved how deep that exploration was in terms of like the emotional side of things. At the end of season 2, he makes some pretty big life-changing decisions.
Yeah, there's one or two things I was like, huh?
Like kind of get wrapped up almost immediately in like a episode or two.
Like it was rushed?
With almost minimal conflict.
Right.
And I was like,
there's one big thing that happens at the end. That I think I immediately spoke to Garnt about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I think anyone who's seen it, you'll probably know. You're like, I don't know about this one.
Okay.
And it's not like I think it was like bad plot progression. It was just something. It was the first time when I saw Mushoku Tensei explore like a topic that isn't normally explored in such a realistic manner, and it kind of just all get wrapped up and moved on to the next thing almost immediately.
Yeah, because the setup
Like
was,
it wasn't explored further enough.
Yeah.
there was a setup, and I think it was something that was, I think, so imperative to the story and the character of Rudy that I think it needed like 3 or 4 more episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
The setup as well, I think, could have been an additional episode would help, because I think they had set it up so well across the entire, and I sorry to people who haven't watched it. I know, like, it is so interesting. Please watch the show. I think it's actually really interesting. Like it is
very interesting.
I think it's so interesting because I've never seen an anime handle something like this in the way that it did. And I think because obviously there's a lot of characters, and I think the show has done really well at introducing characters, giving them their time, and used the journey and where they're at in life to really tell the story. And so it's really cool then when they introduce older characters to new characters and dynamics and how that all functions and how Rudy now changes his perspective because he's still quite juvenile in some aspects of his thinking. And so, I think it kind of painted him in the way of, I found him as a character, he's not very good. And I think a lot of people are like this, where when something or someone is not immediately in your life, it's really hard to consider that impact on your life and how it's going to interact with then if they come back in and how that's going to, you're like, oh, but you had a relationship like this with them, but now you need to change certain things because you've already got these relationships established and that needs to change. And I think that was really interesting, and that could have been given a bit more time, I think, in season 3. Sorry, I'm ranting. I just thought it was really, really interesting. Like I really liked what they were trying to do, and I think it is so worth watching.
I think it's a rarity, especially in the anime world, that a series gets time to explore these certain topics and breathe without having to go through the next big turning point or the next big piece of plot progression. Because I think when I see discussions about Rudy, you know, it's so interesting because I see that as a sign of like what Mushoku Tensei is doing right, whether people like Rudy or not, because people have this kind of reaction because as a character, a lot of characters in this show, they feel really real, right? So when you watch Rudy do some kind of deplorable acts, emotionally, it can make you feel like even more like icky than watching fucking Frieza like fucking destroy a planet.
Oh, dude,
like
hell
that.
yeah. Like I feel way worse about some of the decisions Rudy chose.
Yeah, exactly.
I like pause it and be like, dude.
Oh,
man.
Yeah. And I think one thing that I always respect about Mushoku Tensei is that some people can take, this is kind of like you're seeing Rudy learn from his mistakes and you're seeing Rudy, progress as a character. And some people look at Rudy and feel like he's so real that they don't think he's worth redemption. And that's kind of why they don't gel with the series, because they cannot invest themselves in Rudy as a character.
Right.
Because he almost feels a bit too real. But what I respect about Mushoku Tensei is that it's exploring a topic that is, it's not exactly like Taboo, but it's certainly on that line of just like, ooh.
Contentious.
Yeah. It's like erectile dysfunction, for example. It's exploring topics that people don't normally feel comfortable talking about or exploring. And this series is always a series that has no problem exploring topics like this and bringing in new light. And it might make you feel uncomfortable in certain aspects, but that is part of the Mushoku Tensei experience for me, and that's why it is one of my favorite modern.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love well-written fiction that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
especially if it's done well.
I still don't really fuck with
I don't have
Rudy
anything
too much.
against that. Oh yeah,
I don't really like.
I'm not going to be like Rudy's Rudy's my favorite character.
No, I still don't fuck with Rudy.
Because I know people will be like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, no, he's still done a lot of shitty things. But I think if you then don't allow yourself to watch media like this and just have a discussion or thought about it, I think you're robbing yourself of a lot of really interesting nuanced topics that can be discussed. And I think it's
totally
all whatever the fuck aside, it's I think still one of the most interesting shows going on right now. I think anime still the fact that we're talking about it. I can't fucking sit here and talk about the nuance of fucking Shinwoo and solo leveling. I don't fucking know anything. You know what I mean? I mean,
what is there to talk about?
You know what I mean? You say what you will. I mean, it's a cool show, but it's just there's not the can't really get in the weeds.
That's a different type of.
That's a different genre.
I know. But I feel like it's such an interesting discussion to be had.
Totally.
It's the kind of thing where if we were off camera, I'd be like 2-hour drinks, and I'd be like, you gotta fucking go in depth about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
those are the shows that are going to be remembered.
I think so. I think it'll be a show that it will occupy the space of people who have watched it. I think for a long time, just because I think there's just so much interesting.
That's why a show like Evangelion.
That's why the Reddit is still going.
Yeah.
But then I hate it when I see the whole discussion of I'm a Japanese media enjoyer. I belong with my fellow Japanese brethren who can understand and appreciate the nuances of Ruby. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, Clyde from Kansas.
Shut the fuck up, man.
You have no connection.
You are not, that is so fucking dumb of you to think that is how you can do this.
I've watched 1,000 anime, so I'm basically Japanese now,
and I hate it when they try to do, that's when it's like a show like this and they try to be like, is it my politics or their politics? It's like, shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up.
No one cares about your politics.
Shut the fuck up. Just watch the goddamn show and think for yourself, man. It's not about fucking them or you, bro. Yeah. It's so frustrating. That's why it's so interesting to look at when there is discussion like this online. But then, there obviously are some people who I think are willing to discuss it. And it's really, really interesting to read how people totally. And how they take it.
Unfortunately, I feel that's a little bit more of a rarity than the former. This episode is sponsored by Google Gemini. It's been a couple of years since I have last been in college or done any kind of schoolwork, and not to sound like an unk, but back in my day when we had to process so much of this information that we were taught in these schools, we had to look through books, take notes all by ourselves. I always thought, I wish I had just had some kind of additional help to make that process so much easier. Thankfully for all of you kids right now, there's Google Gemini. You can ask Google Gemini complex questions that might be a little bit hard for you to understand. For example, do you want to understand the DNA replication process or how to build something by hand? I mean, look, I think we can say that in this information age where there is just so much information to take in, our brains can only do so much by ourselves. So why not have some additional help to make that process easier? The great news is students get Google Gemini's Pro plan for free for an entire year. You can sign up by October 6th to get a free access to Gemini 2.5 Pro, unlimited image uploads, deep research, notebook LM, and 2 terabytes of storage, and a whole lot more. So if you're interested in that, visit gemini.google/students to learn more to sign up today. Terms apply. That's gemini.google/students. Back to the episode.
I'm not very good at explaining how I feel about things and how I when I see a piece of media, how I can interpret that in words. And sometimes, some people online, they make very good points. Like I read things, I'm like, no, that's a very nuanced and well-explained way of appreciating the story. And it helps me understand my perspective.
Totally.
So that I don't also want to shut myself off to looking at online discussion for stuff because I feel like I learn things sometimes.
Yeah.
You just have to sift through a lot of shit to get to it.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is just more the evolution of online discussion in general, where it's become a lot more polarized.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially,
Especially,
I think it's easy to spot. I think
it is a lot
someone's
easier to spot.
pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
Or they're just actually trying to.
Yeah, or they're just like rage baiting or something, right?
Yeah, it's so obvious. It's, and I think that is a skill that will become more important as time goes on online.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very important to identify.
That's why I've never been with the idea that people have been saying, and I've heard a bunch of people saying like, oh, online discourse is like dead, or like, it's not as good as it like used to be. And I'm like, no, it's definitely still there. It's just there's a lot more people in this space who are trying to participate in it now.
I don't know. I would think it's a lot worse.
There's a lot of like bots and AI.
Well, that's what I mean, right? It's like it's still there. You just have to go through more layers to actually get to it.
I was watching the fucking new Down the Rabbit Hole, and it was like it was about the Skyrim unofficial mod thing.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah,
and the thing that like really stood out to me was that all of this video was literally from forums, and the one thing I also noticed is that everyone on these forums talked quite, like, I would say relatively eloquently. Like they were all pretty like very thoughtful in the way that they spoke. And I was like, damn, we don't have that no more. That is gone. Like this like, obviously forums are also chaotic back then as well. I'm not saying that it was better back then, but like it felt very odd to me seeing that and feeling like we are quite far removed from that now.
Yeah. So cool. Do you think it's like completely dead though?
No, I think
online
it's just
discourse
been shifted to more so private discords.
Yeah.
It depends on
and like private spaces.
Right.
Because one thing I find weird is that with online discourse and online discussion, whatever platform you're having that discussion on completely changes the tone of the tone of the conversation.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost weird in a way where if you're trying to discuss like Mushoku Tensei or something, depending on what type of discussion you want to have, there's different social media for that, you know?
Yeah.
If you just want to fucking vent or you want to push an agenda, probably X, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go onto Twitter or Instagram to have a fucking deep online discussion about something.
Yeah, and I think every site adds their own weird flavor to it.
Right.
Like, and I don't know where the best place would be to discuss something. 'Cause it's like, if you go on like Reddit, I find that it's very male-centric.
Right.
And sometimes like just misogynistic unnecessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't really want just a guy's perspective on things.
Yeah.
Like, I would love it. I'd fucking, because I have not spoken to a girl who's watching Mushoku Tensei. I would love to know a girl's perspective on this season. Like genuinely. Like I don't.
Yo, any women watching this episode of Watch Mushoku Tensei?
Here is my number. Hit me. I don't know. I've never like, you know what I mean? Like, but I would love to hear a woman's perspective.
Absolutely.
On that, I've already spoken to me and the boys about erectile dysfunction shit, you know?
Like ladies,
genuinely, I would love that. But like anyone on Reddit claims to be a girl, I'm like, okay, buddy.
Okay, Pixar did not come on.
I've seen your Reddit posting history. I don't believe you. And then it's like, if you want to discuss it on X, it's like, I'm discussing with the literal nets. I don't want to see this. Like, you know?
That is true.
So like, it's like, I just like all these websites have different flavors and I don't want any of them.
If you want to discuss Mushoku Tensei on like,
dude, that'd be
X,
crazy to discuss it on Twitter.
It's just like, there's a certain crowd on like X, right, where it's just like the worst of the worst people on like both sides on it.
Oh yeah.
Where you're like, you say you like Mushoku Tensei, people are like, so you're a pedophile then? Okay. And I'm like, no, can we not just like a show? Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, but, I guess if you want like proper online discourse now, I guess like private Discord groups are probably
but then it's a shame because then I'm watching the Skyrim video and I'm like, damn, it's a lost art.
Yeah,
this forum meltdown and arguments between moderators and administrators. I'm like, God, it's just there's something so fuzzy and warm about it. Like, when I think about
the good old days.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have been banned by this moderator. I think I've been unjustly banned. I would like, I don't know. I just love it. There's something nice about it. I don't know. I think about it. I get really cozy.
Yeah.
When I'm seeing these videos, I'm like, man, It's lost now.
Bring that back.
It's lost, man.
Yeah, that
it's
is true.
It's such a fun thing, and I look back so fondly on it. And there are still forums and stuff, but it's a different vibe, I think, now.
Because now there's so many options to do it. Whereas like if you look back, like 10, 20 years ago, there really was maybe just one forum page where you had to go there and you had to be dedicated as well to like not only find that forum, but to also like be involved in that discourse.
Yeah, there was a massive sense, I think, of involvement that I think people would take on voluntarily that I think is gone now. But I think it's just a difference in how we view the internet. I think before it was more of a hobby and more of escape, and so people went on there to kind of socialize, whereas now I feel like
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite where like you are almost shackled to the socialization.
Well, talking to you, having a human conversation feels refreshing than some of the discussions I see online. That is true. Genuinely, it's great being able to have a conversation with Connor about Mushoku Tensei, for example, and having like a more nuanced take.
Yeah.
And then I can't wait for like 2 weeks to pass, and then one of the clips is going to be posted on Twitter or something.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be being like,
see, I told you they were pedophiles.
Yeah, and it's going to be like either, okay, he likes Rudy. I didn't know he was a Diddy lover.
I bet he supported Diddy.
He's on the Epstein files. I swear to God.
But I've also
that's so true.
As this has kind of gone on, I've also realized that like, man, you just got to have a fucking. I'm glad that on the show that we can fucking talk about this shit, and that the audience generally doesn't give a fuck, and I think maybe I don't know if I'm speaking for you guys if you're watching, but I think you appreciate that we talk about media, any media that we just like, and try to give you
even if you may not agree,
an unfiltered thoughts on it, and not try to sanitize it.
No, totally.
I like that. I like that we can do that.
Yeah.
And
because where else are they going to go for it? The Mushoku Tensei subreddit?
Well, again, everyone's just trying to fucking push something, man.
Yeah.
I think when you're too invested in a show as well, it gets hard to separate your own attachment to it.
Have you ever been that attached to like a
Hannah Montana?
show? So if someone like this Hannah Montana, you'd be like,
no.
In their
no,
faces.
I've never been. I don't think I'd ever feel that way. I think I've never felt that kind of. I've never put my self-worth on a show like that.
Yeah.
Or like put so much of myself onto someone else's media.
I mean, there's lots of shows that, we've been passionate about, but I don't think there's any one where we can point to and being like, yeah, that actually took over my life for however many amount of time, where like all I could do and all I could think and all I could talk about was this one
I don't know, there's
thing.
like a good 3 months where I could only talk about JoJo, I think.
Yeah, but that's 3 months.
Yeah,
there are people who have been doing that for like fucking years.
Yeah.
And it's like their entire personality. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I appreciate it. Some people have to be the law masters of communities and shows.
Yeah.
It's good that we have those people.
Totally.
And they always, I think you will always find someone like-minded, I think, generally speaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Stuff
absolutely.
Like that. So I think it's okay.
Like something I'm not sure, because I am very involved in the anime community, but there is sometimes a certain type of fan where it's almost like if you criticize their IP or their show, it almost feels like you're criticizing them.
Yes.
So there is this
of
guttural like reaction if there is like any. If you do say something wrong, it's almost like you are having a personal attack on them.
Is that anything new though in the anime community?
No, I was saying, is this
this is every community.
Yeah.
Like every games do this
Right.
too.
I can only speak on behalf of the anime community because I was very involved at one point, so like I know that the best, and I feel like from the very beginning, like if I say like Fairy Tail bad, then a bunch of people are going to be like, we have to cancel it.
I think there's like two folds to it. I think there is an aspect of anime fandom that is a bit more obsessive than other fandoms.
Yes.
I think people who get into anime, like me personally, like I was at a point in my life where I really needed something that kind of like spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so I think that was like really huge in my life.
No,
That's why
totally.
I started making YouTube videos about it because I'm sure.
As we all did.
Yeah. Right? So I think there's that aspect. So people who tend to get into anime, I think tend to have a bit of a stronger attachment to anime as opposed to other media.
Yeah.
Like movies and games.
Yeah, because like the reason I'm bringing this up was because like you say something about like Game of Thrones or
no one gives a fuck.
No one gives a
Yeah.
fuck, right? Or I don't know, June or something like that. Some kind of like mainstream media kind of show movie or something.
Although to be fair, if someone came up to me and said Dune bad, then I'll be like, you're fucking wrong. You fucking pleb. Watch it again.
And I don't know if it's just because I've been so exposed to the anime sphere growing up, but there's always been a certain intensity in the anime community that I don't see as often outside of anime, but I know I'm obviously very biased when it comes to my
Yeah. Well, I think it may also be because, back in the day, it was still very much a niche. And I feel with fan bases that pertain to a very selected niche, you naturally are going to become so much more overprotective about it, right?
Well, it was kind of like a safe space.
Absolutely.
At least
it was
at least
absolutely,
for me,
it was absolutely a safe space for a lot of people. And so that's why when you suddenly encounter someone who, you might see as like an outsider, quote unquote, to that niche, come in and start criticizing that one thing, then obviously your first reaction is going to be, well, what the fuck? You don't know anything about this, and why are you coming in to criticize something that we're just chilling in the corner enjoying on our own accord?
Yeah.
But it's very unwarranted of you, even though they may have some actual legit criticisms towards the show that you like. Whereas, nowadays, it's so much more, anime as a community has just become so much more mainstream now that the online discourse of it is a little more forgiving, I guess. If someone comes in and says like, this show bad, you can be like, yeah, well, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? I'm going to keep enjoying it. Or I don't know. Maybe that's just me having grown up and not giving a fuck about what other people think.
I think a lot of this is just part of growing up. Just maturing.
That might be it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, I don't know. There's also a lot of ways that anime is so easy to incorporate in your life. Like the aesthetics of anime are so pleasing. So it's like you can either wear clothes that kind of resemble it, or you can kind of, if you're online,
who would do that?
Yeah. Or you can kind of have like, if you were like online, you can kind of make your profile picture fucking animated, you know? And then there's the aspect where I think like anime stories are generally like very hopeful. I think there's a lot of hope there and a lot of like, aspects to stories that are kind of comforting. Whereas I feel like sometimes, sometimes Western media not so much, it's kind of gritty, sometimes not always as hopeful. I think,
totally.
And it's just different styles of writing, and I think it appeals to different people. But I think it connects really well with people who like anime. And so I think that's what ends up having kind of more intense fandom. But I also I like it.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
Do you think it's something that is? This is going into like a deeper discussion now. Do you think it's something that has to come from Japan, or is it just the aesthetic?
What, anime?
Just
anime as a medium, you mean?
I guess.
I think some people
or the anime aesthetic.
I guess when I, to expand on what you were asking, it's just like nowadays it feels like anyone uses any excuse to use just the term anime manga. And I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah.
But it's just become a lot more commonplace whenever a new animation comes out, like Netflix or something. People are like, it's an anime, even though, it might not traditionally be made in Japan or whatever. Whatever. Anime is a fucking
definition of anime died years ago. Yeah.
The definition of anime died years ago, and it's never been correct. But there's a certain vibe that a lot of, at least old school anime fans, we gravitated towards a certain
look,
not even look, but just a certain vibe a lot of the times. In terms of the media coming out of Japan. And I've actually been getting into Chinese animation a lot now, which has a very similar aesthetic to Japanese animation. Obviously, we all watch Link Click, for example. But I've been watching, Lord of Mysteries and To Be Hero X, which are other anime style shows, except coming from China. And it's a very, very similar vibe, but also every piece of media I see come from that has, I don't know how to put it into words. It's similar, but different. It almost feels like, when we see American made anime or American anime inspired shows. There's something about it that reminds you of anime, but inherently feels American, or inherently feels like it comes from this place.
So like Avatar, for example.
Avatar, for example, right? Looks anime, the plot progression feels very anime, and just something about it.
Is it an anime? No one knows.
But something about it, you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely American.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I think probably in the case for, say, let's just use like Avatar as an example, right?
Yeah.
I think, first of all, that whole argument of like, is Avatar an anime or is it not an anime? It's just like irrelevant, because it's like, it's a good show regardless of how you define it. Right? So that should be
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I think the main reason why a lot of people, when they first watched something like Avatar, who then immediately went, oh, this is an anime, is because maybe it had to do with the time that it came out, where like, you know, at the time that Avatar came out on TV, there was also starting to be, we saw that first wave of like shows like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and like, you know, the early One Piece anime coming out simultaneously. So it might just be the fact that you watch a show and maybe and you know, I think instinctively when you watch something new, the first thing that a lot of people do subconsciously is start maybe comparing it to similar shows, or, you know, like maybe there's a certain aspect of the storytelling where it's like, oh, that kind of reminds me of like Naruto, or that kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And so I think subconsciously from there, you just kind of, after you make that comparison, you think to yourself, well, all of these shows that this, you know, Avatar is compared to are all anime series. So it's giving me the same vibe. Therefore, I might conclude that this is an anime.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, you know, you might have some other cartoons out there that there is, even though it is animated and it may have like the anime look, maybe the storytelling isn't quite similar to any other anime that you know of or you may have seen. So it's harder to define it as an anime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but like that's I think what's happening.
Yeah. So I have a specific example of this. I talked about Lord of Mysteries, which is a Chinese animation. And it feels very anime, and obviously with the aesthetics, it seems to it's how can I describe it? It's basically Bloodborne isekai. That is essentially condensing this massive lore and world building to a T. But there is this one scene, right, where I'll explain the basic setup. This guy wakes up in another person's body, right? And it's in a different world than what he's used to.
Okay.
Right? And he's a bit confused. He doesn't know what's going on. And so he then gets teleported to this like alternate dimension, right? And he's teleported with two other people. And he doesn't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. And in my mind, if this was a traditional anime, I know how the main character would react. He would be like, "Oh, what's going on? Does anyone here know what's going on? You know, I don't know. There's a certain way the scene would play out.
Yeah, you would kind of you could expect how they might react.
Yeah.
But in this scene, even though he's confused, transported to an alternate dimension, and there's other people asking him what's going on, what does he do? He immediately starts aura farming. He fucking goes up on the throne. He goes up on this throne, sits down, and just like does like the fucking Gendo Ikari pose. even though internally he's freaking out, he just starts aura farming.
Yeah.
And he's like, I see you've been summoned here. And he just starts bluffing, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this just the way this character is handled, it feels very Chinese in terms of the vibe of this character itself.
Right,
and I was like, there's a certain nuance to how from the media that I've seen from like different countries. There's like a certain nuance that I can't always put my finger on.
Yeah.
But there's a certain way that different countries like to portray their characters.
Yeah, there's like cultural, like
stereotypical
cultural archetypes, I guess is the only way to put it, right? Whereas like, yeah, because like in as you said, in like a traditional anime, I think the reason why like the protagonist would be like, oh, what's going on, guys, is because I think maybe culturally a Japanese audience will look at a character like that and be like, oh yeah, that's what I would also be like in that situation. But maybe the Chinese will look at that and be like, nah, I ain't no pussy.
Yeah,
I'm aura farming.
I'm not saying there is no Japanese anime that, you know, has characters like that.
Yeah.
But it's just a pattern I've noticed where
It's also
probably like a subconscious effect of like, I imagine, I mean, you've probably seen this as well when you've been working with the Japanese animation studio on your anime, is that like, I imagine there's just choices that are made, like very small things. Yeah. Constantly you're like, I don't think I would have done that. Yeah. Or like, I wouldn't have thought of that. Or I would have done things differently. Yeah. That, like, I imagine those things subtly do add up over time. Yeah. To make the feeling of anime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether it be, you know, like the framing of a shot or how they showed a character moving or the physicality. I imagine all of those things are probably something that the director might have thought about from growing up and watching so much other Japanese media, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think there are, to be like, this is the difference. It's like, I think there are probably some like thematical differences you can probably point to and say, these are like very different. But I think like overall, the differences and like to be like this show is anime, this not, is kind of reductive to the argument. I think it's not helpful. But you can like you just know. You just watch it and you feel, you're like, this feels Japanese.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the sense that like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what the fuck does this is Japanese mean? Like, I don't know, it just feels different. Like, it feels foreign. I think like it doesn't feel like something you would get from like your local TV network or national TV network, right? And I think that's like, it's
I
different.
think that's especially in the case with anime, because I feel as time goes on and, you know, there are so many more anime being made, and there are people now who are in the industry making anime who probably also grew up watching anime and consuming it, that I think now it's become more common practice to find people. And again, I'm not general, like this is a vast generalization, obviously. There could be case by cases here, but I think for the most part, what I'm seeing is that like the reason why so much like kind of newer or like more modern anime feels so much more anime than back then is because so many of those people who are making the anime now also grew up on anime. So they know the formula and they know what works for them, but then it just becomes this loop of like anime being inspired by other anime. Whereas if you go back to say, you know, like the early Ghibli movies or
it's like incestuous.
Yeah, it's a little bit incestuous. Whereas like, and you know, again, that's not to say all modern anime is
Ghibli
like
also
that.
has like a lot of Western inspiration though as well.
Exactly, right? And that's why like when you watch a Ghibli film, especially like an older Ghibli film, it is anime 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not like anime, you know what I mean? Like it's the vibe is very unique in that aspect that makes it stand out from all of these other anime shows that have clearly been inspired by other similar anime or similar shows in that medium.
Yeah.
I saw this one time, a discussion where someone tried to argue, I thought it was an interesting point, that like, I think at least further back, not recently, but like, you know, maybe pre-Ghibli even, that like when they wanted to discuss kind of taboo topics, they would often pick European or American settings because it was easier to explore those topics in the sense of like through a foreign country's perspective, as opposed to being like, it's Japan.
Yeah.
This is like a scandalous marriage in Japan or something. It was like, no, well, the scandalous romance can be set in Europe in a castle.
Well, because you know, I'm sure a Japanese audience will look at that and being like, that doesn't happen in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know much about the West and like European countries, but it doesn't happen in Japan. I can see it happening in Europe, I guess, with the little knowledge that I have of other cultures. And so it's a little bit easier to stomach for a Japanese audience, I feel.
Well, there's also a lot of writing to draw from as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I think because obviously if you were born in like, I don't know, like 1920s Japan, or like you were a lot older, right? And you were probably, let's say you were like 40 when you were directing in like the 80s.
Yeah.
You probably would have been exposed to a lot more Western media at that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you would have, it is interesting.
Well, it's you know, to build off that, it's like, you know, as a weeb, you know, there were moments when every weeb may have this when they come to Japan, obviously, and you're walking down the city, or you're just you have a moment and you're like, damn, this feels so anime. Obviously, that's such a cringe line to say. Oh my god, this feels so anime. Oh my god, but like, to dig deeper into what that feeling is. Well, that is the experiences of the creators from Japan putting like a piece of their experience into the media that they've made, into anime itself. So of course, coming to Japan is going to feel like anime because that's you are experiencing the same experiences that the creators have put into the anime work themselves.
This must be like someone who's like a big Hot Fuzz fan or something in Japan. And then going to a pub in the UK and be like, whoa, what the fuck?
Well, I was going to say, it's exactly the same as like, I'm sure like a Japanese guy or girl who's like a massive fan of GTA will go to like Miami or LA for the first time and be like, oh, it's just like GTA.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly the same.
I do that. I fucking do that.
You know, I was just having a thought during this discussion as well. Like, I was talking with someone about fucking, I think, Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Right, it's just a reality TV show where people don't get to see who they're dating, basically.
Yeah.
And there is a Japanese version, I believe.
Yes.
I could be wrong. And there is a British version and an American version, I believe.
I've seen the Japanese and American version.
Right? And I thought like...
I didn't know there was a British version.
And then they were talking about it to me and they were like, dude, this is insane. I can't believe like they're making out and shit in the American version. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's kind of, a big cultural difference. We wouldn't normally do that. But then Maylene tweeted this fucking, or like showed a video of this game show where the guys had to guess if they were putting a finger through the wall and if it was a real butthole or a different object. And I was like,
I love it.
And I was like, one, hilarious. Everyone has signed off, and like that's very funny. I'm very down for this.
That is the most Malin thing she could possibly say.
Also, it is the most Japanese.
It's so Japanese, but then I was like,
so
I was like,
Japanese.
and then in my head they were like, yeah, we're a lot more conservative. When I was discussing with the Japanese one, they were like, yeah, we don't, it seems like yabai, you can't show that on TV. I'm like, can't show that on TV, motherfucker. This guy's asshole is being prodded on TV. What are you talking about? We can't do that. We draw the line.
I can't explain.
but it's funny.
I can't
It's so
explain
different,
why,
right?
but like living in Japan, I know why one is socially acceptable and one isn't.
Yes, yeah.
I can't
But
it's
like-
just the vibe, you know.
But I guess like I have such a Westerner like mindset because obviously because I've been raised to those two different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like they're a little closer in the boundary than I think a Japanese person would feel. And it's like how like I guess it's the vulnerability of emotions that is the taboo there instead of the physicality of one's body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like maybe we don't see that as much of a taboo in like kissing someone is not as much of a leap in terms of it's just weird, right? Because like I'm trying to like it's so interesting trying to like have this discussion about media, different countries, and there are so many more facets to it than I think people are willing to think about.
Yeah.
Well, I
Which is
think that's
interesting.
why.
Which is
I think that's
interesting,
why
right?
in Japan, like there's more fucking sex shops in us on a single block than like mental health facilities. Because it's like because people are just more like, oh, okay, sexuality is like a thing that's. Just
I mean, one will
there.
fix my mental health, and it's not the mental health.
Oh
clinic.
Nothing a good old Tinker can't fix.
Hey, one of them's helping me out, Joey.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. It's like, you get, as much as Japanese people will be like, Japan and Japanese people are ultra conservative when it comes to taboo topics, they never fully disclose what those taboo topics actually are, because to some other countries, it's like, that's not taboo to you or that's taboo to you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Like I've like never seen a show where like it's just a bunch of people arguing like politics or some shit in Japan.
Yeah.
And like we have like question time in the UK where they'll have like some local people come up and just ask.
No, there are shows like that in Japan, but they play during like the day.
Yeah, right. They're like never like, and with the UK style, I feel like it's a bit more common. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
Yeah, it's never on prime time.
Can I ask you? So anime tropes, in terms of character tropes,
Yes.
are the basis of those tropes based on kind of like Japanese personality types that you would find in real people? Obviously accentuated into like into anime form, but
Yeah.
like
I would say for the most part, yes, but obviously they are far more exaggerated in anime.
Hyper-exaggerated.
Hyper-exaggerated in anime. But then there are some, I guess, archetypes where it's clearly born out of a fetish, where it's clearly born out of like, I wish people were like this, because this is the kind of person I am into. But because it's very hard to find, if not impossible to find in an actual Japanese person, I'm going to create a fictional version of it that fulfills that fetish of mine. And hopefully there is at least one other person watching this show who can relate. Because it's like, okay, I'm sure like, to some degree, we've all met a Japanese like girl who was like a little bit of a kudere or like a little bit of like a dere, right? Like those are a little bit more common. Obviously nothing as like, severe as like, an Asuka or a Rei exists right out there. But for the most part, there are, the human emotion is very complex and characteristics can be multifaceted, obviously. But like, then you get some other stereotype, like, archetypes like fucking, I don't know, like a kamidere or like a himedere where it's like, no one is like this. Right. There is not a Japanese woman out there who thinks that they're a fucking princess from like the 12th century Britain, right? Like that character does not exist. So let's create a fictional version of it, fucking crank it up to an 11, and hopefully someone's gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, there's like thinking about this, there's so many like tropes, character tropes where some of them I can like trace back to see, okay, I met a Japanese person like this. Characteristics are accentuated. Comes an anime person.
Yes.
And then there are some where I'm like, damn, how did this get popularized? How did like, for example,
Yandere?
not just like the Ada kind of like MILF character?
Oh yeah, no, they don't exist.
Yeah, I'm like, what was the patient zero of this character archetype? You know, how does this character archetype evolve?
I'll tell you. The patient zero was probably some Japanese person who had a massive Oedipus complex and went like, well, fuck.
No.
I can't fuck my mom or my older sister.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of into it, so I'll just make it a fictional character and hopefully people fuck with it.
But even like that voice type has become so synonymous with that kind of character archetype. I'm like, I've not heard a single Japanese person,
no one sounds
Japanese
like
woman
this.
speak like this.
No, because they don't exist.
How did this evolve? I'm just genuinely
It's
curious.
a fetish. That's all it is. It started as a fetish and it's going to end as a fetish. There is not a single person, Japanese or not, who acts like this.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing. And that's why when you do meet someone who is like that, I mean, I've never met anyone who's like that, obviously.
Yeah.
I think more likely than not, someone's going to be like, okay, it's not quite the same in animation. You know, it's like when you fucking talk to those maids at the maid cafe, right? Like,
yeah.
It's like it works in anime because this is obviously a person who is voice acting and a character that doesn't exist that has been exaggerated.
Yeah.
But when you get an actual real life person, no matter how fucking 10 out of 10 cute they are, it's going to be cringe because it's clearly obvious that you are not this actual person. You are putting on an act.
Yeah.
And some people are into it. And again, it's because it's a fetish. That's all it is. Like maid cafe goers will justify being like, oh no, I'm just trying to help it. I'm just trying to help a sis out. You know, like I'm a fucking day one supporter. I'm like, okay, if you are, that's cool. But at the end of the day, deep down, it is a fetish. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have a fetish on whatever it is, as long as it's not fucking abhorrently illegal, all right?
Yeah.
But like, you know, don't pretend like an actual person like this exists. You know, don't come to Japan and expect to meet an Ada or Nair-san.
I don't think anyone
like that.
actually is.
Yeah,
you know,
and I hope they don't.
Yeah, I think it's more of just like when I see it in real life, obviously I cannot, there's the sense of like disbelief is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Where in anime, obviously you're watching a fictional show, so you can like still sell yourself into these character archetypes a lot easier than if you see a live action movie sometimes. Part of the reason I can't get into like Japanese live action movies a lot of times is they keep those same character archetypes and seeing them with like real actors, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel real anymore.
It's the maid cafe phenomenon.
Yeah.
I really don't like watching Japanese movies.
Yeah, which is why like I'd say some of the best live action anime are the ones that have characters that don't immediately fall into a single archetype that is unrealistic.
Yeah.
You know, like look at like, I don't know, Rurouni Kenshin, for example, right? Like there isn't really a character in that show that is like, this guy is this archetype or this guy's this archetype. They're very multifaceted, which works perfectly for a live action setting because humans are multifaceted and it just makes it more believable no matter what the setting is, you know? Whereas like, I don't know, could you imagine like a fucking Suzumi or Haruhi live action? That shit would be so cringe. It would be incredibly cringe. But we don't even think about that when we actually watch the anime because we know it's a fictional character that has been hyper exaggerated, right? So it's interesting.
It could work. The only reason it could work is if Kyon is just like, because the whole point of that show is Kyon is just like completely self-aware. Like, yo, this shit cringe.
Yeah.
Yo.
Actually, yeah, if they turned Haruhi into a live action, Kyon is the only character that people will be like, yeah, that's a real guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not want to watch that.
I don't want to watch that. And I love Haruhi, but I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that shit.
But that's the problem, right? Is that like at the end of the day, turning an anime into a live action is a business and you got to take the most popular shit regardless of if it's grounded in reality or not. And sometimes you're going to get some real fucking cringe shit.
Gintama live action was good.
Huh? Oh, the Gintama live action is amazing. But that's because even the director is taking the piss out of like these archetypes, right? Like, and I think that's how archetypes in live action anime should be treated.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not supposed to be real. So really exaggerate that side of it all in the storytelling. And then people are more likely to relate to it and just take it as just a light piece of fiction or a joke.
Well, I think that's what the One Piece live action did really well.
Yeah.
Where obviously every character in One Piece, maybe not necessarily an archetype, but definitely a larger than life character.
Yes.
And
it's so cartoony.
Yeah.
And they perfectly showed that cartoony side through live action, which is why so many people watched it and went, actually, I thought it was going to be cringe, but it turned out decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just got to record them quick.
Yes.
before they get older.
Yeah, before they get older.
Yeah.
They just got to keep filming.
It's just
We're going to get to Water 7 and Luffy's going to be like 50.
They ordered the season 3.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm not
Good,
surprised.
but I mean,
Coming out in 2029 or some shit, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that the Squid Game they did. They filmed season 2 and 3, but season 3 felt like season 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it basically was.
Yeah, but I think it's better.
I still enjoyed all 3 seasons of Squid Game, though.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
So to build on this character discussion, interestingly, I hadn't. One thing I learned while making Ban was there was a point where I needed to communicate both of the main characters' characteristics to like the team, right? And it was very eye-opening when I was talking to the director. And one of the things he said to me was because the character sheet, I had like a whole fucking backstory about what their subconscious and conscious drives are so that everyone can really treat them like people and really understand them as characters. And he told me that he'd worked on some projects where literally they didn't know what a certain character was going to be like. So they just chose a blood type. and I was
so
like,
Japanese.
And I was like, is this industry standard? And he was like, yeah, there's actually very,
It's not
very
industry
normal.
standard. This is Japanese standard.
Yeah,
So-
people do ask you sometimes what your blood type is. I don't know what
Yeah.
my blood type is.
Dude, you
Yeah.
get bullied at school for a certain blood type.
Yeah, I know.
Can you
So
imagine that?
Can you explain this blood type?
Look, I don't fully
Culture
understand it either, but
Yeah.
supposedly, I mean, look, all of it is
Isn't
just,
this, I could be wrong. I think it's like Japan and China do this too. I think it's like an Asian.
I think it's an East Asian
Can
thing.
we Google this to make sure?
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if
Before I
like
start saying
China
one
or
thing.
like Korea does this too, but at least in Japan, you're separated into primarily 4 types. You are an O type, an A type, a B type, and an AB type. All right. O is the most common. O and A are the most common. B is probably the least common, and then A is like, oh, you're like the fucking shiny Pokemon of Japanese person.
Yes.
And just like in what's the word? Not cosmology. What's the word? Astrology.
Astrology.
Just like in astrology, each blood type is connected to some kind of personality trait. So the ones that I can think of off the top of my head is if you're an AB type, then you're the creative type. If you're an A type, then you are really good at organizing things and keeping things tidy and neat. And then the O type is kind of just like the whatever, go for it. Just, let shit fly kind of type.
I mean,
And then a B type is, I don't know, something else. I know one of my friends got bullied for being a B type because apparently B types are very common in gorillas. So people are like, oh, you're just like a fucking gorilla, Lamau. Which is the dumbest thing to bully someone over.
you mean jacked and fucking ripped?
Yeah, like could you imagine getting bullied for having a B type blood?
Can we search up what each blood type actually means?
Yeah,
in terms of,
what
like,
are they?
personality
Because I never fucking cared about this shit at school.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because I spoke to some people who like really do believe in this, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
then again, look, we do the same with the star signs.
Yeah, astrology.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
whatever. Who the fuck
exactly.
cares? But yeah, I know that they care about it.
Yeah.
They care about it a lot, yeah. Okay, so, in the Japanese blood type, people with blood type A are known to be highly organized, particularly precise, and pay much attention to details. Okay, I was right about that,
Yes.
thank God. What's the B type? B type are known to be easygoing, honest, and bubbly. Compared to all blood type personalities, the B group
Okay.
is the most outgoing.
Interesting.
Okay, wait. What are your guys' blood type?
I don't know.
I'm O.
You don't know your blood
No,
type?
I don't know.
You should know out of any of us.
Brother. I think we've had this conversation and you still haven't fucking
I
found
told
out.
you, they test you before they give you emergency blood.
What? That's kind of fucked.
Look, Google it.
Wait. Let's
I feel like maybe if I'm like dying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all hospitals or any ambulance will not give you blood
Yeah.
unless they've done a quick test because they don't want to be liable. If they fucking pump shit in your body that you can't use, they'll
Right.
test.
Okay.
Okay,
and then
what is
AB
blood
type?
type O?
AB is the most interesting. Is a combination of precise qualities of A type and the free spirited of B types. People with this type are often perceived as geniuses or psychos. I mean,
Right.
as a great man once said, a genius is just a psychotic person with an audience.
Yeah.
So. What's
Well,
what's O type?
What's O type? I want to know O type.
Okay, O type. Here we go. O-type are known to be
Eccentric.
eccentric. They are optimistic and can easily get along with everybody. Whenever faced with a problem, they can control their emotions to avoid creating a negative vibe among other people. But like, I look at that and I'm just like, yeah, but anyone can do that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, are you feeling positive today or not?
O-type is labeled as natural leaders. And are you a natural leader, Joey?
I don't know. I am a boss to some people.
Yeah.
Most
So I guess.
Japanese prime ministers belong to this blood type.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Famous for being really good leaders.
Yeah, really good
They
leaders.
last a long time in that job.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
are experts in expressing their thoughts and opinions constructively, which is what makes them good leaders.
But again, it's like the blood type doesn't fucking matter at this point. It's just like how you were raised and your level of education, I
This is
feel, for the
fucking
most
dumb.
part.
Yeah.
It's extremely dumb. But there are so many Japanese people who will live and die by this code. And I think it is
shit.
Same for our star signs. I know so many people who genuinely
Yeah,
believe in
but
that.
how many star signs are there? Like,
Damn, four.
there's only 4.
Four personality types. Doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, I think they have the subgroups too. Some places, the minus, the plus. I've seen that.
Oh, really?
I've seen some places.
okay,
that, like,
okay.
But at least for
he's
the-
an A minus.
I'm sure there is, but at least for the most part, from my personal experience, it's like these 4 types. You are automatically categorized into these 4 types, and
Yeah.
if you are not living up to your blood type stereotype, then people will be like, "Are you sure you're an A type? Because you're giving me B type vibes right now, and that's kind of
Yeah, you
cringe."
seem like a B right now.
B,
I'm a
yeah, beta.
All right. I see you
I
guys.
am omega. I am above all.
look at this fucking B right now.
This fucking B type.
Fucking B type.
Lamau.
All right. Okay. I'll remember this. Guy. I won't forget this.
Yeah.
I know I'm an O type, so you know. What can I say? Natural leader.
Naturally.
Good at communicating my opinions constructively. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I actually identify as an O type, so I would. I'll thank you.
I did think I'm an O. I feel like I'd know if I was an O.
Again, you should know since you're the one with the blood condition.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But either way, it's really dumb. But look, you know what? If
Do you guys believe in the fucking INTP or whatever the
the
fuck?
16 personalities, thing?
Yeah. You've done the test,
Yeah, I've
right?
done it multiple times.
I've done it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah, like I just look at it, I'm like, okay, but that just completely depends on my prerogative of how I answer these questions.
I also feel like the people are so bad at being able to accurately
Self-analyze.
self-analyze. I think
Yeah.
I think it's really fucking. I have such a hard time doing it. Like I recognize when I'm.
I think
being
yeah,
biased.
I think with the 16 personalities test, you're better off getting someone who knows you to do it for you. And I think that way you'll get more of an accurate thing
I don't know.
than
Even then, I think it's
self-diagnosing.
tough.
Yeah, but I think it's more accurate than self-diagnosing.
Yeah,
or self-analyzing,
yeah,
rather.
maybe. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think I was the go up. I think I was the I was commander. I'm ENTJA.
Sounds like a fucking RPG class. you
Yeah.
know?
I'm the commander class.
my problem with this is that I don't understand what any of this shit is.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
either.
I just think some of the questions are. It's not very helpful. I think it's just fun because there's a lot of breadth to the choices you can be, and I think people really like finding a group.
Look, I categorize these as like the same thing as like, oh, which Hogwarts class are you in?
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like,
I
oh,
got-
you're a Hufflepuff? Yeah, I thought you were.
I think
You know,
last time
it's exactly the same.
last time I did this, I got like the dictator one, whichever one that is. I don't know if that's like the
Is
yellow
there a
one.
dictator one?
Could be.
Go down.
No,
All right, well, I
think
don't
it
know
might-
what test you're doing.
It might have been the same. I think it might have been the same one as you, mate.
Probably,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, the commander one, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you done this before?
I've never done this test.
You should try it.
Well, some employers. in
Would
Japan,
you
I think
would you
they-
say when you guys did the test was it accurate for you reading the personality type?
I mean, some of it was like, yeah, I can see that. And then other ones were like, it depends on the day.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's the whim of your feelings on those days, and
Yeah.
I think some places, some employers ask you to fill this out
Really?
because they want to know.
In Japan?
I think so. I think some companies do it.
That's crazy.
I think
Yeah.
some companies want to know your. Like,
If that's the case,
everything.
then why would you not just like idealize every
Yeah.
answer? Yeah. And be like, see, I'm a perfect human.
I think it's bad.
Could you imagine getting fucking not getting a job from someone because
I mean,
they're
someone
like,
has not got a
shit,
job 'cause they
you're an
fake-
INTPA,
Yeah.
kind of cringe, bro.
Not exactly this, but it's not a personality kind of thing. It's basically like, all right, it's more not like INTP based, but they do personality tests.
Right.
Really?
And then they're like, all right, you are more motivated because you get more income, for example.
Right.
So it's motivations.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but it's still kind of dumb. You know?
Yeah, man, it's fucking hard to hire people. So I think people want help.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, when are they going to start asking, like, fucking, which Game of Thrones character are you?
I don't know.
It's like at that point, it's just going to
Yeah.
devolve into that.
I don't really fuck
It's
with it.
dumb. Look, if you want to believe it, you're free to believe it.
Yeah, let us
but-
know down below your fucking personalities.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
16 personality are you?
Do you believe in it?
But hey, look at all these patrons. Thanks for supporting the show as always. And hey, just for you guys who are joining us over on the Patreon every single week, we have brand new exclusive Patreon content that you guys can go check out right after this. Mudan, play a clip of that.
Oh, fucking Toradora.
Classic. Oh, shit. Some real openings, finally.
Naruto shit.
It's got to be shipped in. Yeah.
This
Black Butler's right there.
This one is iconic.
Black Butler's right there, God.
My personal vote is the Gintama opening or the Shippuden opening.
I would have gone for the Toradora, honestly, though.
Toradora?
Gun in my head.
But hey, if you want to check that out and support the show in the process, head on over to patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter. Send us some memes on the subreddit. And if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And I think we have an Instagram page now.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we have an Instagram page.
We have
Let's
an
go.
official
What
Instagram
are we gonna
page.
post,
After
Joey?
5 years of doing Trash Taste. So if you want to see the one post a year that we do over on our Instagram, then I guess the link will be in the description or whatever. So follow us there, I guess. But hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.